Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 60 of On the Backs of Gods. Boy, oh boy, we did it. We hit another 0 and/or 5. It's always very exciting.
Always good.
I'm always excited about it. We're going to have Gorbjorn with us in a moment. Don't you worry. Sadly, still no Tordrek, but he is with us in spirit, in beautiful cleric spirit. I am your DM, Jillian. Gorgeous. And I'm give you a heads up today. I'm dealing with a bit of pain in the jaw. So if it sounds like my words are coming out a bit strained and aggressive, it's just me trying not to move the jaw as much as a normal person might to talk nice and casually. I'm stuck in an angry position in the face. So we're going to just have to work with it from there. It's just me looking mad the whole session. And we'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll start feeling better. Maybe I just got to work it out. We'll see what happens. Who knows? I'm your DM. We have our characters today. One of them just disappeared into the...
I accidentally X'd out. I'm sorry.
Oh, how dare you!
We haven't
been doing this for 60 episodes or anything like that.
Yes. Not like we've done this.
We're a professional
for over a year.
On the Twitch stream.
We have Kyle, Mac, Josh, Abby, and Krista will be with us shortly. I know you guys did enjoy the chaos that was me as Gorbjorn, but he can do it much better, so we'll see how it goes.
That is true. Nobody can chaos like Christo.
Very true. I will give us a quick recap about what happened last time. Mostly consisting of prepping to leave and saying goodbyes. Goodbyes were said to mostly from people who are native to the town because they actually have like connections there. So Roshan said goodbye to his mother and his aunt and Hertha, and did his goodbyes with Eagle. Eagle also gave him all of the information he gathered about his sister, that she was traveling with a caravan heading east. She was arrested for breaking and entering. And then after being bailed out, they could not find a lead after that. Nana also went and said goodbye to her mother, a woman she had not really spoken to since the funeral. But it was a beautiful moment where they both got to come together and be sad. And that's really the spirit we're here for, you know? We're here to be sad and have a good time.
Sad boys being sad.
Gorbjorn was out of town for most of this time, prepping the area where he lives to make it a bit more intimidating. So maybe a bunch of rangers and shitty cultists won't come barging in and fuck with his wolves. That was the dream. Fen also went to go assist. Nothing else to really do in town. Who's he going to go say goodbye to? He's like, I'll go help Gorbjorn. Runs off into the woods. Tordrek says he's going to help Saga with baking. And then he also says he's going to go try and woo the librarian for some more books. Saga also, after this baking session, sends a letter to Bragi, and then also heads out willy-nilly into the woods to find Gorbjorn and Fen. The three of them eventually arrive back in town, where Jarlsman Cole goes to interview Gorbjorn, to which, when it seems the conversation is starting to escalate, Gorbjorn says he has diplomatic immunity and walks off. And Jarlsman Cole does not push any further and just allows that to be the end of it. The party then the next day quietly leaves town in the morning. And on their way out, they see that the Jarl and Van Deel also seem to be leaving town quietly. And some of you notice that the CRS, who had, during one of her visions, sort of channeled Ave, now has bruising across her face, which mimics his.
Which Nana did not see. She was too hungover.
And time starts to pass, and it is a quiet, pleasant trip so far. You've been gone for about 5 days. You've gone through basically just watching the snow and talking and doing some scavenging. Eventually, when you make it to Valley Forth, you do a little shopping and you acquire a little mechanically crab. It has a little wind up spot, but Saga's taken to just aggressively shaking it to make the legs make the little click clack noise. And as you leave this town, Nana and Roshan see a man with burn marks on his face, the letters T-O-R, the rest obscured by a hood, and just a very aggressive reminder that Eagle keeps his promises. And that is where we left off, is with the cart just slowly grinding ahead, leaving this man covering trees to prevent too much damage during winter, keep them as warm as possible. So the cart just pulls on by. Now I am about to, again, do some jumping. If there's anything you guys wanted to do, starting from this moment, if you're like, we don't want to talk about that, Jillian, we hate that. That is also perfectly valid. But if there's anything you guys would like to do, let's start with the first day. And if nobody has anything, we'll go from there. So is there anything you guys do as you start to roll away from Valley Forth? Yeah, Nana, go ahead. Your hand was up first.
Like just Jeopardy. Something that, like I said last time, when we set up camp, Nana does a ping with her, whichever god dang ability it is. I can never remember it off the top of my head.
That's okay, because if there's anything before camp goes up, because this is the morning. But I mean,
this is, I think, maybe also something that she does when they head out from a town, so that they can know what the scope is of what's going on ahead. This is, yeah, Primeval Awareness. I can expend 1 ranger spell slot 1 minute per level of the spell slot to sense whether there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead present within a mile of me, or within up to 6 miles if I'm in favored terrain.
Currently not in favored terrain. So are you going to do 1 mile?
Gives not very much of an idea of what we're looking at going ahead. I'm going to, I've got 3 second level spell slots. I will do 2.
You sit in the cart, you focus as it rolls along. The answer is yes. The answer 90% of the time has been yes. But you sense it, there's that ping, you glance around, you don't see anything.
All right. I'm just going to spend the ride just kind of keeping a lookout, just sort of like keeping an eye out around the cart as we're heading down the road.
Okay. Anybody else based in today? And then if not, aggressive shift. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just as we're traveling, Fenn's working on a few things, whatever it takes to keep him from getting anxious from just sitting in a cart watching the scenery pass at a horse's pace. So he's working on his whittling, the project I described to you.
Yeah.
Play with Jenny, toss some little grubs up into the air and see if she can catch them. And then occasionally when he feels like he needs a walk, he'll just kind of wander off into the tree line and practice with Jenny, see if she can get her to fly back to the cart to whoever he asks. And while he's off in the tree line, he's just going to forage for anything that either looks like it might add a little flavor to our plain old rations, or anything that can be used as dyes to make paints out of.
Okay, let's focus on Jenny first, shall we?
Okay, sure.
Give me animal handling, please.
That is a 19.
Okay. I'm just letting you know I have a set DC in my head for Jenny actually learning this ability, and
Okay.
you need to hit it a certain amount of times. You're very close. Jenny is struggling. She's like, I get it when it's the person needs to be holding food at this time for you to get them to, so you are currently trying to teach names, and you realize she won't really fly to somebody unless there is the promise of a treat there, but you think you're close.
Okay. So going forward, if I notice that, then I'm going to probably encourage, once she's picked out that person is the one that got the food, probably encourage them to like kind of hide the food in a pocket or something, so they have it to give to her once she finds them and she expects them to have food, but it's not just in their hands, so she's flying to the food.
Yeah, that'll be something that you can work on as the days pass, but in like these first couple days, if they don't have it visible, she will not fly to it.
Yeah, I'm this is just over the course of the journey.
Yeah.
Not a one-day activity, just as often as you think I need to make a roll for it, just let me know.
And Saga, what is up?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my stuff is all over the days as well.
Yeah.
But this might actually, I might be able to pop in a little bit on what Finn is doing, if this is possible. Saga has decided to take up, since last time they went out, she was practicing her tailoring a lot, and she's gotten pretty good at that. She did a whole bunch of that back when we were at home. So I think everyone's like looking flaky and everything. So we're good there. So this mission, she's decided, since she got some cook stuff, she's going to try to learn how to like cook by foraging and everything. And Sven was talking about how he was getting Jenny to go foraging, so maybe and he was gonna go, so maybe Saga might go with them, or just take Jenny a few times to try to get her used to like talking to like me and stuff and everybody else. Probably like grab a few people, maybe grab Nana at one point to take her a few times, and then I don't know if Roshan wants to walk around in the woods, he can, but I don't think he'd be up for it. I don't know.
Maybe.
But-
I'm sure Gorbjorn wants to stretch his legs every now and again, though.
Yeah, she'll take Gorbjorn whenever she needs, like she wants to make something with like meat in it and stuff as well, since he can probably handle that. She doesn't really want to. But
One of the designated rabbit buddies.
whoa,
Hey!
it's Gorbjorn.
A Christo from beyond!
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, focusing on cooking, trying to get pretty good at that, trying to get some baking and cooking in while we're on the road with foraging, and then talking to Lady Theater every once in a while.
Okay. Just because it seems a bit more Saga-centric. Nailed it.
Oh, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, it was going to be Saga-centric. Because I'm going to put Fenn's focus more on Jenny, and then his secondary focus is on helping you scavenge. So,
So can I give her advantage by helping
yes,
them?
that's
Okay.
what I was. That was the roundabout way of you have advantage.
Hooray!
Saga.
Okay, cool. And then we can roll for if I'm actually good at cooking as well, if you want to. But I
yeah.
don't think I'm that bad.
We'll see how it goes.
Probably. Yeah. Okay. Advantage. I'll use. Okay. Good thing I had advantage. Thank you so much. I will ignore that 2 and go for the 16. And that is, you said, did you say perception or survival for this?
Survival.
Survival. Oh, I'm not that bad. Okay, that's a dirty 20.
Okay.
Hooray! Well done!
Yes, thank you very much.
Would you like to just describe to me your first success, like your first meal that you're like, I did it?
Okay. Well, I've been making a lot of I have all this flour that I brought with me, and so I was thinking, well, we can't just have bread. You can't just have only bread. So I think the easiest thing, a good thing to like kind of start off with would be a stew. So we do stew and bread, and it's very cold, so we should warm up. So I'm going to try to collect stuff to make a stew, and so I get everybody to help me out, if they will, that day. That day people are around and they help me.
Yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
I'm sure
And,
you find people available
yeah.
at different points during the day where they're like just interweaving between each other. I see that.
Yeah, it's probably the course of like a couple days where like I go out with one
Yeah.
person, get some veggies, one person we get some like
Mm.
other like herbs and the whatever the rabbit.
Mushrooms!
Yeah. Yeah. And so it's a group effort and then we all come together and I cook it up and I've got little buns that I made too over the fire, roasted buns. And I'm like, yeah, good. I hope it's all right. I got everything and you guys helped me out a lot. So I think if anything it'll taste like friendship. So
I would,
Laughing hurts so much, but
I
it's
would
so
second that.
fucking funny. I hope it tastes like friendship. Please tell me it tastes like friendship.
Let us try this.
How does it
Fantastic.
taste, Jillian?
You
I have to know. Dirty 20.
If you had to describe friendship as a flavor,
Is
And-
it Saga's friendship? Because I imagine it's delightful.
if Saga's friendship is meaty and like maybe a little too herby, but it's like not bad. And it's just
And
a
it's
pleasant, warm
surprisingly sweet.
experience. Yeah, a pleasant, warm experience, and you're like, is there a lot of sugar in this, or am I wrong? Like, I'm not mad about it, but there's definitely a lot of sugar in this.
Huh.
I added gooseberries because goose that'd be
As
like
you
the
bite
goose
into
flavor.
a berry, it's like, which
Ah.
isn't too weird for a stew, but there's a lot
actually-
of them.
I rather like it. This is fantastic, Saga. What do you call this?
Oh, I wasn't ready for that question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Uh,
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
well, I gotta think of something. Well, it's
Well, we all helped to
The-
put
the-
it
the-
together,
the-
didn't we?
yeah. Well, I guess what is we don't have a name for every the Galundergoo.
Those
Um,
are
the
six
six-pack
The
stew!
six-pack stew.
Oh, stick facts. Yeah, that's better than Galundergoo. I like that a lot better.
Glunder goo. I don't know.
Gruel
I
would have
kind of
been
like the
oh my
Glunder.
God.
Yeah,
Oh, gee.
you guys have pretty good nights. There's nights where it's like, okay, we're gonna, it's bread and a piece of jerky for lunch, not to be too crazy and use up all your rations very quickly and
Yeah,
aggressively in big bowls of stew. But you have stew for a hot
Mhm.
minute, which you're able to take with you, and it's like you're walking in a big refrigerator. So honestly, it works out pretty well for you to just take it with you.
Yeah. Just take the pot, just leave it in there.
And
Saga,
go ahead.
as I said, Saga, when we found the sumac and I said that the berries were tart, we made the red paint out of them. Just if you see a bush or tree that looks similar but has white berries instead of red, it is sumac, but stay away from it because they'll make you very itchy.
Mm.
So look for the red ones, but not the white ones.
This won't be
When
a problem for you later, Saga.
Oh,
When I do go out though, no, I do look for the white ones too, and I using my gloves, I collect them because I want to use them in the future.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Itching powder!
Perfect.
Oh my God.
Pranks.
You guys are going to be on the road so long. I'm going to say you eventually find like one bush and you're able to get like just a little handful. So you have a handful of white berries like wrapped in a piece of
Mm.
fabric, like nobody tells me what
Like
to
maybe with the glove pulled back inside
nobody,
out. through.
nobody tells me what to do. And you put it in your bag. Roshan, you said earlier or last time that you had been looking at Ave's journal. Is that something you'd like to continue to do, or is there something else?
Other than sending correspondence back to town via sending, that's the only thing he's focused on.
Okay. First, let's talk about correspondence, because eventually you'll hit day 7,
Mhm.
and you told Hertha you'd reply weekly. And I'm
Yes.
sure that'll work for like the first 2 weeks, maybe. So we'll see how it goes.
Mm.
He's gonna try and do it every week.
I'm very
Roshan
proud of
is
him.
Does
very
Roshan-
diligent and responsible.
He is. Does he want a buddy to help check in with him about that?
If they remember.
Well, I mean,
So what do you say to Hertha?
So I think it's probably around the time that we make it to Valley Fourth. He'll just update her of their location. Haven't run into anything bad yet. How is Galunder?
How is it? Sorry, while you were talking, I
How are
realized
things back home?
you and Abby have a similar colored shirt on and are right next to
Yeah.
each other in the stream. So it's very twinsies, and I really
Mentioned
like
that at the
it.
beginning.
It's a
I
twin
really love
energy,
that.
which I'm here for.
That's super cute.
You just gotta braid your hair next time, Josh.
Yep.
I
Braided
don't
pigtails
have
on
enough.
Josh.
There's just like a little like two little braids right on the sides.
Little brads, it'd be adorable.
Aw. You receive a reply. First, it's a very startled sound because I don't think she fully understood what you meant by correspondence. So first, it is the sound of somebody who has had probably sending for one of the first handful of times happen to them.
Oh boy.
And then there's like a delay. Things are well. Glad you're well. Message from Dagwood. That's not Hertha's voice at all, Jillian. It's me, Hertha. Something about experimenting with dead animal took 5 days for first sign of corruption. Seemed excited.
Huh.
So it sounded like Dagwood was doing that.
Yes, she was implying that like Dagwood says this.
So it
How
sounds
far
like
away is that?
That's in Arentoff. That's like way northwest.
yeah. So it sounds like it's slowed down. How like it would have happened almost instantly around Galunder. Do we know how quickly? Oh, it happened within a day in Arentoff the last time.
And that was with a full person. And
Yeah,
you
the
guys would
person.
know that the
Yeah.
bigger the thing, the longer it takes to corrupt. And if this is an animal of sorts, and we can only assume maybe Dagwood doesn't have like a big horse dead in her front yard, you know?
Probably not.
yeah.
Probably more along the lines of like rodents and
Yeah,
things.
took 5 days to show any sign of corruption.
Whew.
And this is how things kind of used to be. Like smaller things used to corrupt a little faster than that, and then they'd kind of explode and then die because, you know, they couldn't handle the corruption in their bodies because too small.
Jeez.
But 5 days for any sign.
So Roshan will tell the party, I've had correspondence from Dagwood, and it seems what we did in Galunder worked.
It did?
It's being felt all the way in Arentoft.
Really?
It took 5 days for an animal to corrupt, and I don't know how big the animal was, but Dagwood seemed excited.
That's marvelous. Well,
That's wonderful.
well
news.
done, Roshan.
Well, it wasn't me, it was all of us.
Well, it was all of us at your direction, following Ave's lead and your orchestration. I don't think a one of us could have done it without you.
And it's thanks to you that we know that it went off well. It's been a little hard to tell, you know, going through winter like we have been. It's not like the wildlife we're going to come springing back, but
How long has it been? Very quick. Like
Mhm.
how many years?
Since what?
Since it quickened into minutes instead of days.
It has been an aggressive, like it was kind of like the chart was going like this for extended years. And then there was a year where it just started skyrocketing. So it's been about like a year of it getting very aggressive very quickly.
that gives me
Okay.
climate science flashbacks. Oh.
So Roshan says, it hasn't been this slow in more than a year, probably 2. So that's exciting, but I'm still worried about where runs the excess, especially since it was mentioned in that note.
I'm not.
Think that-
Go ahead, Saga. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right. Well, do you think that like the corruption that is supposed to be on Glunder, but that is getting held back, it's going somewhere else and not just gone? That's what that means.
If the field only acts as something that rebuffs the
Yeah, like
corruption,
bounces
does
off
not
and goes somewhere
purify
else.
it
So-
can only be a dam.
I suspected when I heard the prophecy that the excess was not the corruption, but instead, I guess, the energy from Golunder. But now that you say that, it makes sense. Where runs the excess corruption?
If Bosch
Which
is
would make
interested in it,
sense.
then
Yes.
that's. Well, would it run to places adjacent to Glunder, or if it's not hitting where? How far away is it?
Well, the way that I understood the spell to work was that it pushed it all away from Golunder, period, not in a single direction.
Just outward, away.
But
So
hopefully it's not something we have to worry too much about. I think the Jarlsmen are all wary of it. They know what to look for.
I would appreciate it if we do come across any other better indication as to where this excess might be running. I think we ought to make sure that a message gets through, at the very least, to Volda.
Of course.
Certainly also, I would think, to Hertha, if only because if this excess does in fact fall somewhere close to home, it might well be a neighbor that we need to rescue.
Well, if there's pertinent information that we need to share, I will do my best.
Of course. That's all that we can ask. I just want to make sure that this does not become a festering wound that we come back only to gangrene once we've finished this.
Well, sometimes the prophecy is just like mentioning something that's going to happen. So maybe it was just mentioning that Bosch was going to say those words, and we don't need to worry about it. But you don't know.
For the crab in the hand for every hand
Yeah.
gesture.
It like.
I love it. She's just like pinching the pinchers and just like emoting
Oh,
through the
everybody,
crab.
it's okay.
It'll be fine.
I said if Sumac says it'll be fine, it's probably fine.
I'll
I-
just say, oh, go ahead.
Saga.
I do trust the Jarlsmen to take care of this. But I might be lying if I said I don't expect us to see Bosch again.
I'll just say
I'm
that
certain
Fen
that
initially
is-
looked like he had something to add to this conversation, but the first time somebody mentioned Bosch, Fen, his mood sours and he jumps off the cart and he's going to go look in the woods for, for whatever, acorns or something. He doesn't care. He just is not going to sit here and talk about Bosch, who we left behind us and didn't deal with.
Jenny takes Fen's seat
Ah,
and like curls up in like the little blanket that's there and just gets
Like
comfortable.
any real pet
Aw.
would.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like, well, now
that's
this is
true.
mine.
Ah,
Little
yes,
mortal.
the perfect level of butt warmth. It is
Um,
mine.
So Jenny just takes that spot instantly. She's like, I don't want to. It's cold.
That's
this is what
true
I'd
and
prefer to
fair.
do.
Mhm.
So Fen walks off at the mention of Bosch.
Mm. Does he look like he could use somebody watching his six?
I mean, I'm assuming he doesn't just run beeline into the woods, just
I'm guessing
unending
that too.
run.
Yes.
No,
I'm
I mean
assuming
you
he's just on the other side of the tree line.
no, you might have seen his mood sour. You might have seen his face drop a little bit, but you've seen him jump off the cart a dozen times to go poke around in the woods. Like he gets bored when he's just sitting there riding. Town was boring. This is a bit more exciting, but you know, that's this is not unusual behavior. You would have to be noticing his mood change to see that his mood actually did change.
Not a roll insight. I can just see it in
Thank
your eyes.
you.
I can see it in your face. I know what you want.
You know what I want.
I do.
I know this man. I know this elf.
I know this man.
Oh my god, apparently not as well as I thought. Fuck.
You were in the middle of a conversation. It's fine.
Okay, fine. I guess. That's a 5.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, it seems Fen is done with this conversation. He goes to go to the woods.
Well, maybe that's Saga wants to talk to you, so maybe that's why. You are you still gonna get married?
I am intending to, yes. Plans certainly have changed, but honestly, I think winter time's not my favorite as far as wedding times go. Wouldn't mind
Anything like
something
the
during
last
the
one,
warmer
though. We need
months.
lots of time outside for all the games and stuff.
Hmm.
Well, I have a few things that I wanted to talk to you about. Do you want the fun stuff or the not fun stuff first?
Oh my. Well, let's have the business first.
Okay. Do you want to know what everybody thought when you said that you were gonna? Do you want some gossip?
Sure. Nana's
Okay,
having a
okay.
little.
Well, of course, the Jarl wasn't very happy about it. But the one thing that really confused me was, you know, the Vandil Stormer guy. You know him, Chief Jarl. He also looked really worried, and I was trying to figure out why, but I couldn't think about it. I couldn't figure it out because I don't know him very well. But I was just gonna ask you if you know why he was so worried.
Would Nana have any context for why Vandil Stormer might be concerned about this union?
You can roll an intelligence check. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you it's a high DC.
Well, we'll see
you
how
want-
smooth this brain is.
I don't know. I was help. Well, no, I mean I told her about it, but that's all I can probably do.
I could just tell you what happened.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I can guide you. Guidance.
Put what do with guidance? Do I do advantage?
1d4, please.
Oh, 1d4 as well. All right. Well, I'll take it. Why not?
I'm just like probably
Oh.
holding your hand or something.
Well, unfortunately, Nana rolled poorly, so even with the generous help of Saga, that is only an 11.
No idea.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know him all that well myself. I suppose it's a little bit concerning. Might be something worth asking Volder about, though a little bit limiting, having to either wait on a letter or try and crunch it all into this tiny message that I have to keep track of with my head while I'm saying it. It's very disconcerting.
The second the wedding talk starts, and it starts to go, and you watch as Tordrick leans backwards from the front and reaches for the tap on one of the barrels and is without looking filling a drink, and he fills a second one, and he like reaches over and hands the other one to Gorbjorn in the front with him with the horses, and they just both drink in the they're like,
Getting into wedding mode already. That's a good thing for our party cleric to do.
I have to get
Good
into some
practice.
headspace if I'm gonna plan a wedding.
Plan some prayers.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
everything.
definitely. Mhm.
Yeah, I was just well, it was a little confusing at the time, and then with Vandil and Freyrun and Nadia being also good friends now, and she doesn't like us obviously, and now he's kind of sad about it. I just thought that it's something to be aware of.
I do appreciate that, Saga. Thank you. Yes, this is definitely something I'd like to have Volda's opinion on at the very least. It might be he knows Vandil a little better than I, but
Sorry, I should have told you earlier, but like it didn't seem like too big of a deal until Freyrun and Vandil were friends, because then that's two
Yes.
people rather than just one. But the good stuff now, we should start planning. We have so much time, and we can figure out what you want to eat and what games you want to play, and then we can also plan what your dress is going to look like, and then it's just going to be.
And then she starts to list all of the choices you are going to have to make at some point for a wedding.
That's a lot of
just starts
things. I
rapid
didn't know it
firing.
was that many. It didn't look like that many.
I will say
Not
just
at
from-
Aves.
The napkin color matters. It does.
it matters a lot.
Does it?
I will say if Eagle was here, he'd be so proud of Saga's like social like planning, like of being like, hey, I realized that this guy who doesn't like us has been talking to this guy who doesn't like us. Keep that in your mind. Just Saga's like, I'm learning. I'm absorbing the information
I
around
spent
me.
a lot of time with those guys, and now I
Yeah.
know.
Gorbjorn, is there anything you'd like to do on the start of this trip? Kind of in like a weeks-ish span? Oh, you're muted.
Oh no.
My dog was barking, so I was like, ah. All right, so I was just hoping to like maybe just like sneak like a coin in everyone's pocket each day.
Keep
More
pumping up
stealth
that
practice.
sneak snap.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, do I want to do 7 stealth checks? That's just. Do you want to do 7 stealth checks, or would you like to do like one big one?
Do it against everybody's passive
Let's
perception.
do it. One big one.
Okay, one big one. You will be rolling against everyone's passive perception.
Okay.
Got
So I
the-
got an 18.
I don't
Holy shit!
think anybody has a passive perception that high.
Mine's 17.
I
Oh,
don't.
I got
So
close.
close.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Um,
14, man.
they don't even suspect a thing, Gorbjorn.
So
They
how many
don't
days
see
do I
it
have to subtract for
at all.
everybody?
So far you've done, you could do this for 7 days so far, we'll say, if that's what you'd like to do. You can do it for basically as many as you want to for 10 days.
Okay, for 10 days.
I
Uh-huh.
hope you're using
so
copper, otherwise it defeats
everybody-
the purpose of
No,
you carrying all the
everybody
money.
Well, no, I got a lot of money, so everybody can get 10 gold.
Cool.
Wow.
Holy shit! I love it!
And as
Oh no, Saga's gonna start thinking that gold is just a replenishable resource that just kind
Oh,
of
no!
like
doesn't go away.
it doesn't. Yeah.
Saga.
It's easy, and they don't even look at you weird when you stand near them. Like,
They're so busy talking
what's
with each
up,
other, they
Goldie?
never suspect a thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like, yeah, so for the wedding, you're gonna need this, and you just kind of like reach back and you just hand in the pocket and just go back to your business.
Because
Not-
Nana's hands are on her face, thinking of all these things, and she's
Just like, oh god.
It's really good.
So
practice.
many decisions.
I am so nervous for what happens when Gorbjorn is super comfortable doing this around people that are comfortable around him, and then he tries doing something when he's around people that don't know him at all.
We'll
Oh,
see.
boy.
He's starting to get pretty good at noticing when people are unawares. So
That is true. He's getting better at actually figuring out if he's being perceived.
dude might get some insight out of this.
Ooh.
Just a quick jump back to Roshan, and then if you guys have anything else, we will discuss. But Roshan, as you look through Ave's journal, I'm gonna give you a couple options, and you decide how you'd like to go about looking at it. These are your first few like actual like passes on it, which means you can try again later. But you can either roll insight or arcana. Each will give you something a bit different.
I'll start off with insight since it's better.
Cool.
Or arcana.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Just a straight roll.
Yes, please.
23.
Well, by golly.
Wowie. Mr. Smarty Pants over here.
You flip through the book, and like most of it is taken up with the things you learned.
Mhm.
And you start, so you're like, okay, I know those pages, I know these pages. And you go to the pages in between, and you take a look at them. Nothing really jumping out at you as things that important. There is like tracking of progress when it comes to planning what they did with the statue of Golveg. That is a big chunk of this book, is getting that thing up and running. And you flip a page, and it kind of dawns on you that there are gaps in weird places. And so you're looking at a page, and like the first thought isn't, you know, wow, Ave writes fucking weird. You press your thumb down against the paper, and you can just feel the slightest indent of that there is some sort of writing in these spaces. But it is completely obscured to your eye. And even like running your hand over it, like you can feel that there's something, but it's like you don't even see it on the paper.
So Roshan would probably first try detect magic.
Okay.
He'll cast it as a ritual and turn his eyes black so he can see magic.
Okay. How long does this doodad work? 10 minutes?
Good question.
For the duration.
It is up to 10 minutes, yeah.
Okay. You do detect magic, and just parts of this book start to like, it's weird. They like sort of sporadically flash. And like, if you hold the book in your hands and then close it, it stops the glowing altogether. That your detect magic cannot see through the outer, like the binding of the book. But when you open it up to specific pages, you can see it illuminate.
So good.
And going back to the
So
first
good.
page that you had found with this on it, you were able to get some information. It takes a while because first off, there's still the flashing and sputtering. You know that there must be another way to view this besides detect magic, but detect magic gives you a little bit to look at.
Mhm.
This is what you end up seeing. It is a drawing of what looks like, how do you describe it? I wouldn't call it a coast. Once you cross over the hammer and go into the east, there is the continued line of the sort of the crack, the gorge in between the west and the east. It's a drawing of that area, a map of basically the places you are headed currently. And you can see there is a marking a bit farther off, and it is marked as the Quebec Library. and there are 2 notes written under it: Chronicles of the Unyielding and To See the End, Stories of Odin.
And where approximately was the Quebec Library?
It is, so if you're looking at like the map and you're like, this is the path we're going down, it is about, basically like you go down, you hit the lighthouse, and if you go back up in a U shape, it's there. So it is off your path. It is further east. It would be a bit of a detour.
Well, he'll keep that to himself for now, and maybe we'll get to go to the library to have fun.
Yeah, after you do all
Tordrick
the
likes
stuff, like,
libraries.
the prophecy ends and
Yeah.
you're like, how do you guys feel about like a library? About 100 miles that way? I don't know. I'm just kidding. just throwing
Well,
it
at
out
the very
there.
least, like, we can, like, try and hit it on our way back rather than doing a UE and then going where we were going anyway.
Saga's like, I don't see anything about a library. This is your prophecy, Roshan. I need you to get it together. But yeah, that's the information you were able to gather from basically like your first few times of finally figuring out what Ave's done to this book, because you're like, this book has to have fucking something.
And so Roshan's been also taking a lot of notes in it himself, and he's been trying to write in the same code as Ave.
Okay.
Just, if anything, to get more familiar with it. And
yeah, I mean,
practice.
you spent over a month working with that code. I think it's something you can definitely continue to do.
Okay.
Nice.
I think that is good. Is there anything else that you people would like to accomplish? Tordrick has a book that he got from the library.
Haha,
And
he
he reads
successfully
it.
seduced the librarian.
We only can assume. And he continues to look at the book. It seems to be one of the books he picked up was the book of runic knowledge that he had spoken about earlier. He was able to talk the librarian out of it. So he has that book and he's taking a gander.
That's
So
good.
that's what he's up to, and drinking and having a good time, trying to keep things kind of high energy, but occasionally there's moments where he just sort of sits quietly and either just steers the horses or just kind of minds his business. He is not high intensity energy for this whole week that you've been on the road. So Nana, you do your test every night. Just make sure to be aware of like when we start, like if I'm like, so it's the afternoon and you're like, well, I would have already used a spell slot by now. But this is at night. You do one of your tests,
Okay.
pings back positive as it always does, which is just unnerving, but Roshan easily can bubble. It's not like you guys are using a shit ton of spell slots every night.
Yeah.
One of the nights when you guys rest, this is after day 5. I would say this is probably, honestly, day 7. Right at the end of my little bracket that I made for us. Saga, you lay down to sleep. What do you do with Sumac? Does he sleep next to you? What's up with him? What's up with that
probably.
crab?
Yeah,
What are you
yeah.
doing with the crab?
I
That
definitely
crab do.
That's what, well, I've been carrying him around, and shaking him for like party morale and stuff lately, and it just kind of became a habit.
Yeah.
So, I'm probably like, I probably usually, and if I remember, I place him like above my pillow, but if I like fall asleep, it's just in my hand. So it depends on how difficult of a day it was, if I fall asleep like that or not.
Okay.
It was a medium day. I put it on top of my pillow, like
Okay.
bedroll.
Put it on the bedroll. You lay down and go to sleep. I'd love a perception check with disadvantage if you'd be so kind.
Oh my, oh my. Somebody gonna steal my crab. Why would they
who's
do that?
Stealing my crab.
Disadvantage.
Yes.
17.
Ooh.
Oh,
Saga doesn't sleep, is what you all weren't aware of. She
Well, if
only
it wasn't
closes her eyes and
disadvantage-
pretends.
It wasn't disadvantage. It would have been a 26. So hell yeah, but
Oh, she's like,
Oh,
I'm slightly
jeez.
encumbered by this, but
Yes.
not much.
Yes.
I'm
The
just
light is
picturing her
completely
sleeping with her eyes wide open, just like Ian McKellen as Gandalf. Just like eyes open, sleeping. It's like very unnerving.
It's all that daily sugar intake.
Yeah,
She's just
can't
at a
sleep.
constant hum.
no, it's
Um,
just because she traveled all on her own for very many years and had to be awake and had to like be alert in the evening.
Yeah.
So she's kind of used to it.
Saga, you lay there and you're like, and you listen to the sounds of the night animals and the wind, the sound of people like breathing softly as they start to fall asleep, the crackle of fire. And you hear the slight sound that you've now associated with Sumak's legs moving. You just hear it.
Oh. Well. I look above my pillow. Back.
He's there.
Oh.
He's just a little closer.
I reach down and I pick it up. Pick him up.
It makes a little zhuzh zhuzh sound, but nothing else happens.
I'm just gonna hold on and I mean it's probably nothing. So
Mhm.
I'll go lay down with him and go back to sleep.
Okay, so you're like holding on to him tonight.
Yeah, he must be cold. I'll just keep him warm.
You hold on to him. It does not persist. Maybe he was cold.
That's the problem. He was cold.
Uh,
This is the scariest thing you've ever done, and I don't know why.
You're just like, I'll hold on to it. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine.
Yeah, it's like when you get under the covers and the monster can't hurt you. If you're holding the crab, it won't hurt you.
Yeah, Saga's taken to holding Sumac in her hand when she sleeps now. Like, you can stay
Yes.
right here if you're
Yes.
so cold.
Yes, I will keep you warm. Oh,
Yeah, maybe the
Yeah.
wind blew him a little bit. He could have still had some residual wind up. You never know.
oh, okay. I've never done the
Yeah,
wind
you've
up
never
thing.
wound him up. You just kind of
But-
make the noise yourself and just shake him about.
Yeah.
Just for
I did-
clarification, are we tiny hutting every night?
Are we gonna tiny hut every night? Yeah,
Okay.
as the good Lord intended. Y'all tiny hut every night. Also, just besides, things are dangerous just in general because people suck sometimes, but it's cold.
Oh,
Being in the tiny hut makes it pretty warm, but crabs are like ocean things. Maybe they want to be even warmer. So you're like, I got this. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Don't worry, man.
and when I looked up and looked for him, I didn't immediately see like a bobcat on the ground or anything like that. So it's
Yeah.
probably fine. Yeah.
You hold on to him. Problem does not persist.
Okay. He was cold.
Yeah, you solved it. Problem solved.
Okay. A few days later, I will sew a little pocket into my dress and I will put him in the pocket.
Very nice. He now has a little pocket that he can stay in so he doesn't get cold and doesn't get lost.
Yes. And if I ever want to be like, I just do a little shake now whenever I need to.
Do we need morale? What's up? Okay.
I'm very nervous about this.
Don't you guys worry about it. It's just a little mechanical crab boy. Don't worry about it. So we have done a beautiful aggressive skip of days. What if I told you I'm gonna do that again? What if I told
Oh
you
no!
this has been the most casual trip as a group? You see
sometimes
people
they're
on the
like-
road, they give you a wave, you give them a wave back, and that is like the most interaction you get. Occasionally, you go hunting if that's what you'd
Idyllic.
like to do. You have yet to see a corrupted animal, person shooting at you, charging at you, trying to hurt you. It has been very pleasant, and there's no corpse in the back. Look at that. It's really a dream.
That's an improvement.
That's the only kind of road trip I want to go on from now on.
Yeah.
No body in the
God,
back.
Yeah,
I
yes,
refuse to
yes.
join in if there's a corpse in
Yes.
the car.
There's
I will
just like
I
so many
also-
less flies. It's just
I
like,
refuse.
preferable.
So you guys continue on if you would like to. Just basically what you were doing. I'm just informing you. 4 days until you reach the hammer.
Okay.
Which means
are we?
go ahead, Saga.
Oh, I might just talk to the group just a tiny bit because I'm curious about something.
Hmm.
So guys, are we gonna like? I guess the prophecy says that we go over the hammer, right? Or we don't technically have to walk over it. Do you guys want to just go on a boat? Or do you want to walk?
I'm just gonna tell y'all straight up from where you are, the
Yeah.
detour to go get a boat would be insane.
Oh yeah.
Just
I didn't know that though.
where
I don't
we
think about these
are.
things.
Yeah, Saga's like, but what
yes.
if we got a boat though, guys?
Yeah.
I haven't got a map handy, but please let me assure you, Saga, it would take us many, many, many days out of our way to go where the nearest ferry would be available.
Darn it.
And it
Much
would
too
have to be a ferry capable of carrying our cart and horses as well.
Mhm.
And
These are not ours. They were lent to us. We have to return them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
guess the
don't
last time
think
I did
fairy
this, it was
wings are
just
that
me.
strong.
I was thinking that as well.
Oh my god.
Rashad and Saga both nod solemnly. Nice.
hey,
Really
Josh, one of us does puns on this show, and I think you're kind of honing in
It's
on my
a
territory
pun
there,
fight.
buddy.
It's
Yeah.
dueling banjos, but dueling puns.
Oh
Please
god.
don't continue.
It will.
I'm not gonna do this to myself.
Okay. Then yeah, we can walk.
Along those same lines, are we going to visit the inks?
Froggy?
Well,
Oh.
ink exhibition, whatever it was, or
Think
I believe
so.
that's across the bridge, is it not?
well, that's where we're heading.
We
That's
have
what-
to.
Brought us this direction in the first place, no?
Well, at the very least, the notice that they were this direction was, I can only assume based on the wording of the prophecy, it was meant to be the starting flag, the signal for us to begin. Maybe this ink sideshow, what's it, ties in. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. But it seems to me like if it's on our way anyway and we come across them, so much the better. Perhaps we can find some information from worldly travelers.
That'd be
Perhaps.
so fun.
Perhaps that's where we must lay flat or get our feet knocked out from under us by a secret.
Or perhaps the bridge is.
Maybe they'll have a fortune teller.
Oh,
Or-
Saga, please don't. Let's not tangle ourselves with fortune tellers.
Well, I mean, I've always wanted to talk to one because I was thinking like if I like, we could like trade secrets. You know, like I give her prophecy, she gives me a fortune. That'd be cool.
I do wonder. Honestly, I would tag along on such a journey. I would be very entertained. You don't have to go, Fen. I'm only saying I think it would be... Just imagine. Just picture. Just
You don't like fairs?
look at Saga.
I can
Imagine.
imagine a very terrified, very angry fortune teller that wants their end of the bargain back after they receive Lady Sada's vision. I've seen Lady Sada's vision on a
sincerely
couple of
doubt.
occasions now. It's absolutely terrifying.
They always are correct, though. What is the
I
the
understand it
fortune teller
does
would
not
care
make
about
it
the
better.
quality of the accuracy of the fortune.
I
And
provide
have
quality.
It
Yes.
seems to me, Saga, that Lady Sada in the first place was rather not very keen on lots and lots of people getting those prophecy eye drops in general. I'm sure you could probably ask her for some knowledge on the person's behalf, but it seemed to me like she was not very keen on helping hands.
You need to remember that this is all the
the fantasies that I had in my head before I met all of you, and then gave you both the eye drops, and I'm just
Right,
it's carryover. But I
Of
can
course.
probably work it. I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Saga, are you telling us that we need to remember?
What?
I'm sorry, that was inappropriate. That was harsh of me.
I'm not sure exactly what happened, but if he says it was rude, Saga.
Well, she doesn't have any memory, so
Okay, it was rude.
it was rude. It was rude. It
Yeah.
was a bad thing for Fen to say.
Yeah.
I think that would throw her off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Gorbjorn, you're like, holy shit, and you slip a coin into her pocket because she's totally off her game, ma'am.
Yeah.
Fen.
I understand. I
was-
know what I said. I know what I did. It was wrong. Saga, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just like it's kind of funny, I guess. That, but it's a little unsettling.
It
Um,
it is unsettling, and that's why I said it. It's concerning the visions that I received from Lady Sada and how they differed from the ones that you do. And the trust that you put into it, and not knowing where that trust comes from, and seeing the other side of it. It's a very scary thing, and it concerns me, and I trust you, and I want to help you accomplish your goals. I think everyone here does, but it's frightening to be on the other side of that. The visions I've seen have been, well, they've chilled me to the bone, Saga. They're not.
saying that you're scared of me, but I'm not gonna do
No,
anything.
no, I'm not scared of you. I'm not scared of you. I'm just unsettled by the willingness to follow without question. Not knowing what brought you here to this point.
Sorry, I distracted her.
Oh no.
Well, it's just, I don't know what happened to me. I don't know. I don't know anything, and so I don't know how I can help you. I really appreciate you guys coming with me, and I appreciate you guys trusting me and everything to come along with the prophecy. I've done this for a long time, and it always goes well, and she's never let me down yet, and she's probably the reason. I'm pretty sure she's the reason why I'm here in the first place, because she's the first thing that I ever knew. So I guess that's why it's not blind trust. It's just she deserves it, because she's always been correct, and she's always been there for me.
The last sentence echoes through the wood. Saga, I'd love you to roll on the wild magic chart.
Oh no. Oh god. Will
As-
Lady
As
Satyr
the
be there for
anxiety
her?
of the situation builds
Oh,
inside of you,
please.
this
Oh,
moment
please.
of feeling as you had a long time ago, and you had felt very secure here. And this is the first moment where doubt hits you strong. And go ahead and roll for me. I have it. I swear I do.
Want the D20 first or the D100?
D100, please.
42.
42.
Ooh.
I feel like we've had a
Good
The
number.
answer to the question to life, the universe. and
If we've
everything.
had 42 before, we should roll again because we can't have do-overs.
Well, it may not be the same thing because there's the 3 options. So what's your other one?
8.
Okay. If it's the same thing, I'll have you roll again. If it seems familiar to me. 22 and the middle one. As your words echo out of you, it is as if the strength has been pulled from your body for that show of power. And you can just feel your arms just kind of Your strength is decreased by 2 for 1 hour.
Oh no.
That's really low.
Yeah, it is
Oh, honey.
instantly.
It's
Moving
What does
is
that look
hard.
like?
Terrible. It's a bit of gauntness in the face and like
Oh,
just
no.
a thinness to her body that was more similar to when you first met her. But just the
Saga.
instant sapping of energy, and she is just kind of a bit slacked.
Are you all right? Are you well?
I think I just. I think I'm gonna take a nap. I'm tired. Or
That's a
maybe
good
talk to you
idea.
later. I don't know. I'm.
Do you want some water?
Fine. Yeah.
A little water, perhaps.
I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go to sleep.
Okay.
She
All
just
right.
kind of like really slowly, sluggishly like crawls into the back
Oh.
and then
Nana
just like
will help
wraps
her
up in
get
like a
back
blanket.
there, tuck her in, and she's gonna leave her water satchel close by to where Saga's napping and kind of
With every little movement, you hear a little. It's still in her
the
pocket.
This crab making tiny little noises. And Saga curls up and just kind of fully just caves herself in under this blanket.
Yeah, she's just gonna say a little whisper to Lady Seder and just be like, trust you when it's not blind. I know you know it. Taking me on the right path. Thank you.
You send your thanks out to Lady Seder. And that is where we are going to take our break. Thank you all so much for being here with us. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break. So get some snacks, some drinks, some tissues for the tears that stream down your face. I'm sure the rest of the day won't be terribly sad. Who knows? But we'll be back in 10 and we'll see you guys then.
Thank you, Ten.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 60 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break, which ended with Fen saying something a bit uncalled for and Saga going to take a nap, because I really feel like that is a very good way to deal with your problems, is take a moment for yourself and go lay down. I support the choice. And the fact that her energy was sapped down to a strength of 6 by wild magic. But Saga, you're like, the blanket's so heavy, I'm trapped here forever. You lay beneath it like, well, I hope I can get out. And then about after an hour of just sort of napping, back to normal. Less gaunt in the face, arms have that little bit of muscle buildup that they've had from just traveling. And you're back to how it was, less sad visually.
Okay. Then if she has a little bit of energy, she's spending the rest of that day collecting rocks and carving more satyr symbols. She probably has enough already, but she just feels like doing this today.
Yeah, it's easy enough to just find random shaped rocks.
Nana will encourage Saga to drink a little water before she goes off looking in the woods for things.
Ah, I can lift the cup now. Okay.
There you go. Hydrating
It's
is
water
very
skin.
important. Anytime you're foraging.
This is your public service announcement from your friendly neighborhood ranger. Always drink
Ranger
water
Nana.
before go foraging. Okay. I am about to skip to the 11th night, which is going to be your arrival at the bridge. It's about mid-ish day when you'll arrive. Is there anything before arrival, or is it like I continue doing what I was doing and hoping for the best with what I do? Yes, Nana.
Just only thing that really would get added into Nana's routine would be she'd start taking notes for like things to tell Valder, things to tell Hertha, things to tell her mom. And she's like starting to write out letters to each of them that she's adding a little bit to every day, and just kind of gradually building up something to send to them next time we pass by a parcel man.
It's 11 days since we've left Glunder.
Yep.
Okay.
You are on day 11. Fen, I will let you do one more animal handling if you continue to work with Jenny, and we'll see how it do go.
Yeah, 10.
No.
Aw.
Jenny is now very expectant of treats, and you're like, I'll figure out a way to teach her out of that. But that seems to be the last roadblock before she will learn to do something. She knows how to go to you. She's got that down pat. But just anybody else not food motivated, it's not her cup of tea at the moment. Yes, Roshan?
I think Roshan probably sends daily sendings to Egil without really anything exciting to say. But if there's any news on his end, I feel like he might share.
You're like, maybe he'll tell me something. I don't know. I'm just curious. There has to be some days where you're just like, oh, it's weird how all my spell slots are gone by midday. Weird. Weird how I don't have any spell slots left, guys. What a pity. Hope you don't want anything. The only piece of information you like get of note besides him just talking to you, and if you ask about somebody, he'll update. There's nothing of note except on the 8th day of your travel, he is going back to Olaf's Feller.
Did he ever visit the Hartsville Inn?
If you ask, he'll tell you that he did. And he does not elaborate further besides telling you that your aunt is good and that big man's having a great time.
Okay.
And he does not elaborate past that. Unless directly like pushed in a direction. of have you been spending money there, because I tried to make it so you wouldn't.
No, Roshan's not going to push. It's not going to have the glorious payoff if he asks about it.
Did my thing work? Did it work? Yeah, but on that day he heads back. So on the 7th, yeah, by now he'd be back in Olafsveller. He's made it back. Or would be basically kind of arriving in Olafsveller while you guys are arriving here. You pull up to something that I feel like I can't deem a town or even a hamlet. It is basically a glorified big trading post. That is what sits before the hammer. It's known as Trader's Pass, but the nickname people give it is Thor's Hand. So, because it sits right at the base of the hammer. So it's like, oh, if he was holding it, imagine. It's not the official name because people don't usually put the names of dead gods in things, but it's the nickname. So that's what people call it. Small outpost. You can see all of it from here. There's a tavern inn special. There are stores. There is a smattering of homes, which you can assume are for the people who work here. And the things you see are these wooden cranes, and it looks like there's one that's currently lifting a bunch of tied together logs onto a very flat cart from a normal cart. It seems they have a multitude of these very like low to the ground wide carts, and that's what they are loading the wood onto currently. As you guys go closer, it is a sight. You can see the beginning of the bridge and this crevice. The best way to describe it is very Grand Canyon-esque from your point of view. The only thing is, it's a bit later in the day, and it is like an ocean of fog. So its grandness is very much dampened by this, but it is that much more horrifying to look at. You don't know what's scarier, really, looking at this bridge suspended over nothingness, or being able to actually see that nothingness. It's kind of up in the air for you.
Saga's excited. She loves fog.
She's like, this is perfect.
My
Blessed by
natural
Lady
environment.
Satyr. God wants me to be right here. This is right.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid boats. I don't need a boat. Look at all this fog.
Yeah.
It is just very thick fog, most of it condensed, kind of laying alongside the bridge, some of it going up and around. And you can see that and feel, boy, it windy. It is just catching the wind, and you watch as somebody seems to spot you and leaves behind one of the cranes that they were working at and starts to jog over. Stocky man, like beer belly, but arms to match it in just muscular size, runs over, just big untamed beard. Hey, you crossing?
Yes, that's our intent.
Okay. So just so you know, I'll give you the rundown. I would advise waiting for morning. You are going to be on the bridge for pushing 2 days, and it is not safe to travel at night. It is best to get as far as you can with daylight, and then you're going to tie down. And he like motions over to one of the flat carts. We made these because of the wind. They also have attachments on them that you can tie down to the bridge just in case the wind really picks up. Now, we're willing to trade out carts with you for a certain price, and then you can, on the other side, they have where you can buy normal carts and trade back out again. But if you also wait, you can pay a nominal fee for us to attach the correct ropes and rigging so that your cart could be able to hook onto the bridge for safety at times of increased peril.
Ooh.
Well, it's not our cart. We do have to return it. I don't suppose you'd have any way to hold on to the cart and the horses for us while we were gone.
I mean, you can take your horses. I will say it is better if you buy from our trained horses, which are accustomed to going over this bridge in particular, because sometimes the horses don't get it, especially with the fog.
That would be very sensible.
So you are welcome to leave your horses and cart here. That will cost money for us to care for your horses, though.
What would the cost be for us to have the horses sent back with a rider?
Where are they going?
Galunda.
Kind of like does like a sharp inhale. Could probably talk him into doing it. We got an old guy who can't really do as much of the lifting, so maybe I could convince him to take your cart and horses back. But basically, you're gonna want to you buy his drinking for the way there. So
That's
I would
sensible.
say 10 gold. 10 gold takes your horses all the way back. We'll feed, water, get them back in one piece. If not, you will receive your money back.
Go beyond.
Ah,
How's 10 gold sound?
He pops up. What?
How's 10 gold for our horses and cart to be returned to Galunda, hey?
and we're at the bridge right now. Damn. It was 2 weeks. I want to like. I am down. Be like, hey,
Okay, go ahead and roll whatever social stat you think is going for this.
by all means, I believe that's my intimidation.
Uh-huh.
14.
He just like
Okay, he's
bows
gonna
up
try
with his
and
muscles.
he leans in. 9.
I slapped 9 down.
Okay.
Alright, I mean,
He takes it
down
up.
1 gold. That's
Okay.
alright.
There's also fees associated with renting cart and horses and getting across, and but it's for your safety. It's for everybody here's safety.
Certainly looks it.
Yes, ma'am, the one raising her hand.
Do you have a souvenir shop?
We have a shop.
That'll work.
Sounds like a store you get.
I'll find something.
Okay. So just so you know, the price for crossing is a gold per cart and 2 silver a person. So you don't need to hand that to me right now. This is just so I can go throw this at somebody to start taking your cart back.
Right.
But before you cross, you will be asked to pay this fine. Also, in regards to fines, if you are caught trying to travel across the bridge with our property after the sun has set, there will be a fine because it is not safe for our property and our horses. So you'll have to tie down for the night and then start bright and early.
All right. Well, that's sensible. Honestly, we wouldn't want to put you hardworking folk out a cart and some trained horses if we can avoid it.
Yeah, it's really a shame. I don't want to know what it looks like down there.
I'm not keen on it myself.
Yeah, most of the time perfectly safe. Honestly, the wind though it's been pretty crazy this winter, so I advise going slow and being prepared to tie down at any moment, just being at the ready. It's easy enough to do, just a hook. You have 3 on each side.
Are there any
And
animals?
we got horses.
No, like on the bridge. Are there any plants or animals?
There are not.
Oh, okay. Darn it.
Just a straight shot from the sounds of it.
Yeah, it's useful. It does what it does.
That's gonna be strange. No plants or animals.
What
Yeah, you'll
about
have-
elementals, undead, aberrations?
Yeah,
Fiends.
yeah.
I can't speak for anything besides like a normal ass animal. I can't promise you there's not something terrible, but we have people usually do a sweep of the bridge. That's their job. That's why somebody will catch you if you decide to travel at night. If it's with your own cart, that's your choice. But usually the wind picks up at night and it's not safe. So highly recommend you don't do that.
It seems to me like the rule is quite reasonable. As for tying down individuals, is it recommended to tie each person onto the cart, or better to tie onto the bridge itself?
I mean, usually you can sit pretty on your cart. If something were to seem terrible, you could always just hold on. And if something seems, I guess, very, very terrible, you can tie yourselves down. You could probably get some extra rope that you can tie in. We don't have it set up so that people can tie themselves down. Usually people aren't being whooshed up out of their carts. It's just that the cart can topple, the wind gets under it,
What percentage, if you had to guess, crossings were unsuccessful?
Well, not a books man myself, more of a loader, but I'm going to be honest, they make us talk a really big game like it happens all the time. It doesn't. It mostly happens when people don't accept our carts and horses, and even in that situation, it does not happen often. Sometimes people's horses can freak out, just the depth of field. That's usually the issue. Go too fast. But if you guys just go at an even normal pace and tie down at night, or tie down if you can feel it rocking, there won't be a single issue.
Seems reasonable enough.
I don't want to scare you or anything. It's just, they give you the whole spiel and then you have to repeat it back to them, and then you got to repeat it to the people. And if you end up getting hurt and I didn't tell you the thing, then I get in trouble,
Of course.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep it, very straightforward, on the nose, get your information together.
We prefer to be
for
informed.
others not listening.
That's what I say. I'm just fully looking at Gorbia. Exactly. Like, they should just assume, look at it. He points to the terrible abyss with a very not that crazily wide bridge on the end that curves at the sides. There is no railing. It is just straight across bridge.
It
with
is literally
curved
the haft
edge.
of a hammer.
Yeah.
A circular haft of a hammer that's kind of had a little
It is
shaved on the
pretty to
top.
look at, though. It looks like it's been worn over, thousands of years. But you can just see the slight detail work on it. So the ride will have just a little bit of a bounce to it, but it'd be the same as if you were going over rocks normally. It's just weird. It is weird to look at. It's, for anybody who has been to the Grand Canyon, it's just uncanny. When you're looking at it, you're like, what is this?
And then just imagine in the middle of that there is a hammer.
Yeah,
that
now
was
and there's
wielded
just a
by
humongous
hand.
hammer. It is terrible to behold, but Saga is excited about all the fog, and that's what the prophecy wants. The guy kind of looks over. All right, he points to one of the building. This is Hilt's Hold. This is the inn. You can get a drink there. You can get rooms. Prices are a little shitty, but when you're the only inn, you can do what you want.
Yeah, that makes sense. Rule the roost. Make the rules.
All right. Anything else before I go back and get your cart going off?
They're good horses. They've seen us this far. Please take care of them.
Oh yeah. My guy's pretty good with a horse.
I just want to say that you've been incredibly helpful and very professional, and this is has been a very good experience all around, and I just really appreciate you telling us everything and all of that.
She
Thank
will
you.
be very eager to share how well you did with your business.
Honestly, that's great to hear. When you go inside of the inn, there are some papers you could fill out and say
yeah?
that I, Jarek, was very helpful today.
I love it.
And I just want to tell you, Jarek, that Lady Satyr, she loves you, and here, have this. I'm giving him a symbol. If you that's my goddess, of course, Lady Satyr. And if you know, I'll leave some good words for you, you leave some good words for me, and everything is good.
That sounds very doable. And he doesn't put the necklace around his neck, but he kind of like does it a couple times around the wrist, and now it's a little dangly bracelet. All right. Usually I work the later shift, so if you leave in the morning, you might not see me, but thank you for your kind words. Good luck on your travels. And Jarek is going to kind of like bow-legged walk back over to the crane that he was working at, and you guys are presented with the Trader's Pass.
I love Jarek, by the way. We have absolutely got to leave him a 5-star review.
We gotta tell him he's great. You should promote him. What would you guys like to do as like Tordrecht is like taking his 2 barrels of meat off of the cart? You all take your supplies and your bags out so that the cart can be transported. You can grab a new one in the morning. What would you guys like to do?
Well, we need some more supplies.
I
We're
was just gonna say,
done with our rations.
Yeah. And we talked money earlier. You guys can head over to the store. Gorbian opens a bag full of a lot of money and just throws out some extra.
Jesus.
Giving you whatever 30 minus 11 is, 19. If it's wrong, don't tell me it's wrong. I will give psychic damage.
19 rations?
Yeah, I think you have, if he has bought you 30 rations worth and you've already done part of your journey 11 and you got 30 minus 11.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that would.
I wasn't very straightforward about what math I was doing, but
Yep.
that's what I was trying to do.
Okay.
You're like, Jillian, I don't.
So that's
don't know what you-
19. So I have to buy 19 days of rations.
You've already done this. This is what we talked about earlier.
This
Okay.
is how many we have, and then there's 2 days over the bridge, so we'll have enough.
Yeah, you guys are fine, and there's a town on the other side, so really don't worry too much about it. But you guys go over to the convenience store. You can
see
see
what's in
that
there.
it is 90% ropes.
Huh.
This store sells rope.
Now,
You want
I
rope?
do have
There's
2.
rope.
I have 2 50-foot ropes in my pack.
I have one.
I have 150 feet of rope.
Whoa.
So 3 50-foot ropes.
Yeah, you guys are welcome to buy more rope or no
We have
rope at all.
we have 6 ropes already. I'm guessing other people have them as well. Do we need more than 6?
I don't know. I'm very concerned about needing to lay flat in this upcoming segment.
Nana ties a rope to each limb and is like, I got this.
Do we have like pittance
No,
to like?
Ties one to each person.
True, we
we
don't have
can't-
those.
How do we get into? How would we? What do we twat? Cats.
That whole
Garrett-
sentence just dissolved into
It
cats.
was- Jarek was saying that there are like attachments on the bridge itself
Ah,
that like
okay.
these hooks are meant to clasp onto near the end.
I see. I
Got you.
see.
So
they've
it's kind of
just
like,
been like
you batten down the whole thing.
okay.
Roshan holds up a t-shirt that says, I crossed the hammer and all I got was this stupid t-shirt. And says, do you think I should wait till we actually cross to buy it, or?
Well, well, what if they're out on the other side? You have to buy it.
What
And
if
This
you
you
other
did too.
side has black.
Maybe it's more a matter of, do you think you're worthy? And I feel like there's a certain confidence in purchasing the shirt before doing the deed. that perhaps sort of conveys that certainty, you know?
Yeah, I get it. I think you should buy one.
Really putting me on the spot, aren't you? All right, then fine. Nana will buy the stupid t-shirt.
I want the hammer-shaped mug.
Okay. I feel like I can't say no to these things. These things are here in canon.
You can't convince me it wouldn't happen. In a world that has light bulbs, whatever those are.
Yeah, you guys have never seen a fucking light bulb. You have no fucking idea what a light bulb
No,
is.
we have no idea. We've never even heard of it, but
And
Roshan
Roshan
has
had it
now.
mentioned to him once, and would
He
not.
knows it is a thing that is
And
real.
Eagle did not explain it. He's like, I'm
Nope.
not explaining a light bulb to anybody ever.
No.
But light bulbs are canon. Okay. What could a mug shaped like a hammer possibly cost? I'm gonna say a silver for the mug,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and we're gonna go 5 copper for the shirt.
No, overprice it, Jillian. This is a tacky thrift store.
Yeah, it's where else are you gonna buy these shirts and mugs?
Souvenir shop. Yeah, exactly.
Where else are you going to buy a very cool mug? There's like 60 of them on the wall.
Mhm.
Oh,
It's
boy.
really terrible to drink out of because it is shaped like a hammer, so you kind of have to like hold it this way or like
Oh,
this way.
no,
The big
like
handle.
a ladle?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, it's
my
like a pot.
God, I
Ladle,
it's
but
a
you're like,
hammer. It's fine. It's fine. It's
hate
like the
that. It's
thought,
so
right?
good.
Yeah, it's like you all know that these are overpriced but they're cute.
Mhm.
And you have that going for you, which is nice. You buy rations, you buy tchotchke. And is there anything else you guys would like to do? It's vaguely populated here.
Okay.
There are some people.
Okay. Fen is poking around the tents of other traders, and he's looking specifically for what I sent you in the chat.
Are those magical at all?
No, just nice and soft and quiet. That's
Out of context, I just think that's really good descriptive words. I would like you to go ahead and just give me, this is going to be just a luck check to see if that type of trader is here.
what do you want me to roll? Just a D20? Okay.
Straight D20.
Hold on, let me figure out how to do this on D&D Beyond.
There should be
Okay.
a thing
All
in
right.
the left corner, bottom.
To everyone? Yeah.
It shows everybody your rolls.
Yeah, I just it's a 6, straight 6. So
Okay.
I'm guessing no.
You don't. It's a pity. It seems like you found currently there's a lot of like loggers here. As you can see that a lot of their carts are being put up. But you can check again in the morning because it just seems to be a constant ebb and flow of people.
Okay. Yeah, that's just while we're at people that might be carrying nicer, we're bottlenecked at people carrying goods from east to west. That's why I wanted to check here.
If there's anything else, or would you guys like to go to the Hilt Hold? All right. You gather your things, you went to the store, you bought some expensive tchotchke, and you guys make your way over to the Hilt Hold, which is honestly all of this, like you could literally, like Gorbjorn could probably stand at the tchotchke shop, grab his bag, and then just throw it and probably hit the Hilt Hold. Like that is the vague size of this place, is like the store and this thing very close. You go inside and you get hit with the warmth of the fire and the smell of cooking foods, but also that kind of stale, slightly mildewy smell of alcohol that has hit the floor and nobody cleaned it up because why would they? It is
Smells like home.
that seems familiar. A bit crowded. It looks like a lot of the people getting off work are coming inside because at night, once again, nobody should be doing anything near the hammer. A lot of people coming in for their drinks after work, varying from traders to people who live and work here daily. It is like the tchotchke shop, full of like little knick-knack and like twisted pieces of fabric, and there's like a fun wreath over in the side, and there's like a wind chime inside, and it is just like a bunch of weird things just all over the walls, like a sports bar.
Oh, like an Applebee's.
Yeah, it's like
Saga
a
would
really
love that kind of place.
it's like a sweet
would-
Applebee's.
Oh my god. That's great.
There are people about. You can see that there's a little area. It seems like you're coming in on the tail end of a bard's song, like the gentle strum of an instrument, and a woman's voice. You look over, dark skin, amber hair, just vaguely pulled up at the sides, curling a bit at the ends. She strums out a couple notes. From to standing, weak feet a terrible landing, led on my heart demanding to the woman who saved me. And she does like one last like strum, and there's the occasional like clap from somebody, and she like does the nod, and then she's like, and you watch her shoulders sink instantly, and she looks over at the barkeep. Can't get it right. I can't get the ending right. Yelling over at the barkeep. The other guy's better. Can't get it. And then she kind of goes back to like strumming, kind of trying to fix the instrument a bit. What'd you guys like to do? Tordrick instantly goes to the bar. He's getting a drink.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I know the man.
So get
Saga's
a
just
quick
gonna run
drink,
around.
but like,
Yeah. It's like a kid at Applebee's. Like they won't.
Yeah,
No, the
basically.
parents won't stop her.
Yeah, she's getting out
we've
sumac and
tried
showing them
to
all the
stop
stuff.
her. We can't.
Honestly, nobody seems incredibly phased. As Saga just goes buck wild running around.
Yep. Same shit as always.
Okay, so I'm just gonna give you guys prices. So if you want drinks and you want lodging, you take what you get. You find out that it is basically 3 per room if you'd like to buy 2 rooms. But it is 5 silver for a room, 6 copper for a meal, 2 silver for like, you know, a big sharing glass, and 4 copper for just 1 singular drink, big drink for yourself. So that is what is relayed to you. So you guys can buy 1 room and like lay out some tarps and live your life, or you can buy 2 and everybody can sleep in a shitty bed, you know? It's whatever you guys want.
I mean, I feel like, unless I'm very much mistaken about our reserves, we can probably afford 2 bedrooms with 3 beds each.
Yeah, I think that'd be like
Why
a
not?
gold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that.
Fen doesn't even need a bed, really, so whatever.
Fen stands in the corner, very a Blair Witch. He just faces the corner. Like, guys, I'm gonna meditate.
Well, he would sit crisscross Indian, crisscross applesauce or Neil
yeah,
or
I
something.
know
He's
what he
not
does, but it
standing in the
just-
Of
corner.
course, of course.
This
of
horrible
course.
image of just, oh, he's just sleeping.
I'm just imagining him T-posing facing the corner, ominously.
What would you guys like to do as you enter Hilt's Hold? You guys buy the rooms, easy peasy, can get all your stuff up there. 2 rooms, no problem. If you want to come down and have drinks, you may do such. Saga continues to run around and have a good time. Yes, Nana.
I would like to buy the bard girl a drink.
Mm,
She seems like she could use it.
yeah. You can throw down 4 copper pieces, and she's still sort of like on this it's not a stage. I'm going to be very straightforward about that. It looks like somebody took like a box and then like broke it back down into its original pieces and then pushed it together to be slightly elevated. So it is a solid like inch and inch and 3/4 tall of a lift. And you approach with a drink, and she sees the drink
theater
first.
in the round stage.
Yeah, she glances at it. You see the drink first. She's like, "Yeah, thanks." And then she like takes it and she like looks at you. Oh, you're not the normal type. And she takes a sip of the drink.
You seemed a bit frustrated. I thought it sounded good.
Thank you. Appreciated. She takes a very long drink. Yeah, there's, you try to play the hits, right? And, I'm trying to keep up with the times. This is a new one. And sometimes bards are better than you, and you just got to accept that it's not going to sound as good sometimes. And she takes another sip.
Yeah, that can be true for a lot of things for a long time, but it seems like you've got a real passion for this. Looks to me like, at the very least, you've been working at it for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, yeah. I've been here for a while. I could do a little trading when I was a bit younger, not in the sense that I am very old. She's probably mid-ish 20s. Parents used to travel. I traveled with them, and then I settled down here. Hate crossing that bridge. And she takes a sip. Fucking
bad,
spooky.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's sort of what I'd been given to understand.
Yeah. So you're passing through, you traders, and she like watches Saga run by.
Passing through. Adventurers, believe it or not, although I'm sure you probably can absolutely believe it based on this.
Yeah.
And she sort of like gestures with her beer mug to the party doing their various things.
Yeah.
Does Fen hear Nana call us adventurers?
It depends if you're hovering next to her in this very loud bar.
Probably not hovering next to her, but probably not too far from her either, because Fen's not going to be left alone around a bunch of strangers. So, I'm assuming we have a table nearby.
Okay, you can roll perception to see if you're able to catch that bit.
No, I don't. I get 7.
It's loud.
Okay.
People are here having a good time, and she is still continuing to like strum and play. So it's just like, and Nana is talking pretty normally, casually. So they go about that. As she motions out to the group, I'd love to know what just the group's doing in general here at the tavern. And if it's just drinking, it's just drinking, because that's what we do. That's what Torjek's doing.
Finn's nursing his beer. It's been 11 days, but he still remembers trying to keep up with Nana, and he's not going to do that again. So he's going to have a drink, smart. But he's going to take it easy. He's not doing that again.
Gorbjorn, you want to be team drinking, or is there something else you'd like to do?
I just want to be drinking, looking at the weird knickknacks on the walls.
How interesting. I'll get back to you on those knickknacks, sir.
Uh-oh.
I'll get back to you about Knickknack Town. Roshan.
Roshan's probably just enjoying the food. Nothing super interesting here.
Yeah. Saga, what are you doing while you're running around? Anything in particular? You seem like you're looking at the stuff too.
Yeah, and if I see that Gorbjorn is like stopping and looking at him, I might just like crawl up his back and get a higher vantage point since
yes. So good.
Either you can both roll perception, or one of you can roll with advantage.
Saga, you roll with advantage.
If you want, you can roll too. But I do have.
You have very good perception. I think you guys are pretty good at perception, like as a team. Like,
I'm not that great. I just get lucky. That's the only difference.
Speaking of getting lucky, that's a nat 20, 27.
Hell yeah.
We're looking at knickknacks.
You both are going around looking at knickknacks, and like you have the advantage now based purely on height. Nana, I'm gonna go back to your conversation real
Like
quick.
bumping into things, honestly.
Yeah, and it like dust like falls on you. Like it is. They don't clean these knickknacks.
God.
They're just there for funsies.
Terrible.
But the woman looks to you, Viola, and she extends a hand towards you.
Nana, great to meet you.
She smiles. So they tell you to stop right at the entrance of the bridge and tell you can't cross the bridge at night, so you just wait until morning. And then she takes another sip.
Pretty much. And honestly, I really don't care to see whether or not they're blowing smoke up our ass. We'll be spending one night out there as it is.
Yeah. That's why I don't do it. If it was like a shorter bridge and I could get across in a day, you know. But nah.
I knew it was big, but 2 days.
It's guy must have had a big hand. I don't know. And the legend says that it was all broken. Imagine if it was like an actual like hammer size.
That's too much.
I agree. That's too much hammer.
Honestly, it's never seen it before, and it's what I expected in the broadest sense of the term, but it's just seeing it.
Yeah, should see it without the fog. Fog's kind of, I guess it came with the winter this year. I mean, there's fog sometimes, but it just, oof, you know?
Yeah, it hasn't been connected with anything strange or out of the ordinary, has it? It's just...
No, I mean, you know, a guy falls off and they're like, I guess he wasn't worthy. Like, that's about as big as the news gets on it.
Many unworthy people coming through these days?
None that have really stood out to me as unworthy, I suppose. I haven't heard about anybody falling either. And Saga, as you and Gorbjorn make your way around, sort of dangling like kind of at like a protruding wall that goes back. So as you're like, and you're going around and you turn the corner a bit and you can see there's like another one of those wreaths, but this one has just like a bunch of fabrics tied into it. And right below it, just jammed into the only free spot, is a symbol, twisted young branches into the shape of death and rebirth.
No. I was hoping you would say Broggy symbol or something.
You're like, this is a Broggy symbol.
You misspoke, didn't you?
I did. Broggy is just casually like sitting on a chair attached to the wall, and he's like, hey guys.
Hi.
I didn't see you.
Oh, you got stuck to a chair again. Come on.
I've been here for weeks.
No! Oh, Broggy, not this again.
Yeah, Gorbjorn, you feel her like lean back and like stop like she's looking at something, and then you turn and you see it as well. It's like being in the woods again. You both see this symbol first.
Oh,
I just kind of give him some wax on it. Do you see that? Do you see that?
I think, oh wait, instinctually, I think I'll go wolf eyes, see if there's anything like, oh, what's there?
Ooh, okay. You do, and you stare at it really hard.
Owner a dog. Oh, what's there, boy? What's that? What's that? He's like, what?
There,
What is
get
it?
it.
Where?
The symbol itself doesn't light up. You do see a couple of the knickknacks on the wall give like faint glows. But something that also catches you, gosh, honestly, I consider both of you that nat 20 perception. You're a team. You're like looking, and then you're looking up towards it, and then something glowing catches your attention. And the thing is, your friends glow all the time. And of course, you're presented with Saga's weird eyes when you do this, and you're like, yeah, the huge. But you can see a strange shape of something glowing in her newly made pocket, a magical item in the shape of a crab.
Okay.
There's a magic crab in there. Just
Punch him in the gut. Oh,
I got you.
I'm not gonna punch you in the gut, but
If
I
you
mean-
insist. Yeah,
how
so
do I
the
break
symbol
this to
doesn't
you?
There's a
Um,
death symbol up there. Wow.
I'm going to point at Saga's pocket.
No, there.
Disclose?
Close.
What is this?
Oh, this is. Have you not, Sumac? Didn't you
Yes.
notice?
The weird crab she's been shaking for 2 weeks.
I've seen Sumac, but he's like he's gonna look at it like closer and like what part of it is glowing.
I mean, she's holding it right in front of his face for
Yeah.
sure. So you're getting like a
Yeah, you lean in.
His eyeball is just like right
The
up on it.
whole entire crab is glowing. Every inch of it.
This is no crab.
The space station?
Or be an expert on crabs.
He's like, I've seen at least a crab, and I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if this is it.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, it is a toy crab, so I guess it's not a real crab. But
Know what I'm talking about.
yeah, I can't. I'm not sure though. Oh, is it that thing where you do your? Oh yeah, wait. Do his eyes change when he does that?
Yeah, apparently they do.
they-
and I'm not.
They look like wolves.
A little bit. There's 2 wolves.
Two actual wolves.
No, wolves' eyes! Wolves' eyes! With
Two
the
wolves, like, poke out.
apostrophe! Wolves' eyes!
His eyes change a little bit, so it's something you're slightly accustomed to. It's not like a very big change, but when he looks at you, it's just his pupils are just like slightly different. You're like, it's that weird shit.
Yeah. He does that all the time.
I know
Okay.
magic.
Oh, you mean like that kind of thing? What do you think I should do?
Give it a better name.
Make it to Roshan.
That'll make the magic happen.
Yeah, it seems you gotta give it a better name.
Okay.
It's mad about the name.
What if it's magic because the name not good enough?
Hmm.
There is
Okay, well-
true power in naming.
Both of them having this crab conversation with just this looming symbol next to them,
Yeah.
now fully forgotten. Like,
Yep.
what do I name this crab?
We're just slowly pacing around the tavern talking about the crab. Forgot about
You
the
guys
thing.
just both leave it.
Yeah.
You chaos.
So, like,
This is so perfect. It fits so well.
It does. It really do.
oh my
We'll get back to
God.
it. It's fine. We'll get
Yeah,
back
Yeah,
to
we'll,
it.
we'll
Sure.
circle around as we think about
Yeah.
names.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys talk and do the full circle, and then you're back at it again, and you're like,
Oh.
Oh, that's
oh, the symbol.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, should we bring this to Nana then?
Yeah. Maybe we'll get back to the name part and then we'll figure it out. But
Oh yeah.
No. Yeah.
You guys totem over to Nana. Nana, you're facing Viola, and she's like looking at you, and she's like laughing, and you're talking, and then she like looks past you and then up. Hey
Hello,
there.
What's going on? Oh, hi, Saga.
You would see me holding Gorgorn holding it up.
Yeah. Did you take it off the wall?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Where did
He's
you
just
find
holding
that?
this symbol in front of you.
Where did you find that?
On the wall.
Yeah. It was
Where?
really high.
Show me.
Oh,
This is why I brought it
Viola,
to you.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Viola.
Oh yeah, that's one of the
Just need to-
new pieces.
The what? Wait, what's up?
New pieces by whom?
Well, sometimes when people come through, you see a fancy wall covered in knickknacks, and people put the knickknacks up, and they give stuff like really cheap donation, to stick. Group came through, so we could put it up on the wall.
They come through to
How long ago?
were they leaving or were they coming in?
They were. She's gonna roll. Okay. I'm pretty sure they were going across the bridge.
How long ago was this?
Oh gosh. A week ish, maybe a little longer. I'm not sure.
Do you know about how many there were?
It's hard to tell because people get lost in the crowd, but there was several of them, several guys together.
All right. Viola, I've got to recommend that you be very careful if those people pass through town again.
They're very rude.
They're
Oh.
dangerous. They are dangerous, Viola.
That's
Um,
a little strange because, listen, I'm not doubting you. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they were very pleasant, which, that doesn't mean anything about anyone. They even helped us with our cow.
Were they like ranger people?
Yeah, that's why they were able to help. Barkeep's cow had been sick and brought it up casually in conversation. Cow not sick no more.
I just have a question. Did any of the people among their number have something that stood out about them? Birthmark or some kind of
Missing an arm. I don't know.
I was just
One
like,
arm
are
longer
we gonna
than
circle
other.
around to say an arm that not there?
I'm missing limb?
Huh. Yes. One of the guys didn't have an arm.
Dun dun dun.
Saga does that from
recall-
above.
Yeah. Do you happen to recall which one was missing?
Oh gosh.
By chance?
I don't think I could tell you.
Nah. No, that's understandable. That
Like, he was nice, but he wasn't that nice,
of course. Yeah. No, actually, yeah, I do know. I understand he was pleasant. I understand his people were pleasant, but Viola, you must believe me. We saw this man do and plan very terrible things. And we're concerned that he may seek to do further harm. I don't know how frequently. I don't know what his means or motive might be going forward, but just please be careful when he comes through, if you ever see him again.
Nan, I'd love you to roll persuasion.
I bought her a drink. Does that do anything for me?
See, the thing is, like, the drink and your friends agreeing with you would have given advantage, but her predisposition to this person and not thinking that they're that bad and just meeting you, you would have given disadvantage, so flat roll.
All right, that's fair. I understand.
I agree. I'm very fair, kind of benevolent god.
All right, is not the worst in the world. Persuasion. Yeah, persuasion is +0, so that is a 14.
Okay. She looks to you and she like kind of nods like, okay, well, I'll be careful if he comes back through again. I mean, I'm just a bard in a shitty tavern, but I'll make sure if I see him again, be on my toes.
If you can, if you do see him come through, honestly, I don't think you should need to worry about confronting him. It sounds as though he's just traveling through and trying to keep a low profile, and that's all the better. But if you do see him come through again, could you try and get word to the Jarlsman or to the Rhodesman?
Sure. Yeah, I'll tell him if I see this guy again.
Thank you so much, Viola. Honestly,
Of course.
And
And
I wouldn't
she
bring it up
finishes
if it
her
wasn't important.
drink. Yeah, no. Appreciate it. And she finishes her drink. Well, thank you, and you, and you.
Saga and Gorbjorn.
Yes, tallest.
Yes. Sorry. Just speaking of bards and everything, were there any other bards coming through here?
Well, yeah. I mean,
Like
we get.
recently?
We get bards quite often because they're traveling around, they're singing the songs, blah blah blah. But there was this really good bard, like amazing, and I can't get the song right. I've been doing my best, but I just can't sing it right. Everybody's picking up on his stuff. He's honestly best I've seen.
Really? Does
What
he have
name
like?
does he go by?
The thing is, he so somebody asked him his name, and he seemed like kind of hesitant. He's just like, oh, I'm just a bard, and so we've been just calling him. He's just a bard.
He's just a bard.
Does he have like light brown, blondish kind of hair, and he's got a beard, and he's kind of taller, like this tall,
Or no beard.
or no?
It's an interesting.
Oh no, he did cut his beard. He cut his beard last time I saw him. He cut his beard.
That is true.
I mean, the description he gave is a little vague, but he could fit that description. Yes.
Yeah.
It is him.
Oh, you know him?
Yes.
Just a bard.
Yeah, he kind of goes by B sometimes. Bard,
Oh,
Go
bard.
for bard, Yeah, you know.
We've been making it too long.
So I'm
Just
getting all
start
excited.
calling him B.
Interesting. Well, I can only hope he comes by again so I can reevaluate the song and then try to do better. I might just have to change it so that I can do it justice.
I'm sure you'll get. If he does come by again, can you please tell him that Saga said hello, and that I did send him a letter, but it's probably not going to get to him because we left and we're leaving here and we're going across. Just tell him I said hi. Sorry.
There's a mailman with your letter in this bar. You're
Yeah.
going at the same pace.
Yeah.
Okay,
You can't speed it up.
I'll make sure I tell if I see just a bard, I'll be sure to tell him that Saga said hello. And sorry about the letter if it didn't get to him, but if it did, great.
Hey.
Yes. You're very good. See, you remember things well, and that's probably why you're going to do very, very good in this song. And I give her a pat and I cast guidance, and you should try it again.
Just for you. And she reaches up and then stands and then gets on her toes and gives you a little boop on the nose. All right.
Oh.
Take
That's
50.
so cute.
And then she's
You got this.
she's going to roll. Blink, and you watch as one of the wires snaps and hits her in the
Oh
ah shit.
No.
no!
Did my
So
D4 make it
Here we
worse?
go. Here we go.
Sadly, the one it speaketh.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
the night
no.
starts to approach.
Ah.
You guys have rooms you can head up into. Tordrek eventually resigns to going up to one of the rooms and instantly passing out. He goes to read his book and then puts his face in it, which has sort of been the setup when he drinks at night, is where he tries to go read the book and then passes out.
Makes sense.
Real quick, just not that it's that important, but give me the room setup. Tordrek's already found a room. What are our threes?
I imagine it's Gorbjorn, Tordrek, and Fen, unless Gorbjorn plans on taking someone else to bed as well, in which case Fen's gonna not be there.
I think I'm sticking close to the party. I don't want to really get some stranger right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna make sure
I
that
do
I'm gonna
feel
make.
like it would be worth.
I was just saying, I just want to make sure that Gorbjorn doesn't drool on the book. That's all. Or not Gorbjorn, Tordrek doesn't drool on the book when he's
You
passed out in
tilts
it.
his head up slightly and away from the book a little bit, and then he just sort of holds it like a pillow at his side.
Adorable.
But
Um,
anything before settling in?
I do think it would be worth, catching everybody in the party up on the fact that there was one of those left in the inn
Oh, yeah.
by Bosch himself. A
The
week
man
ago.
himself.
Oh,
Tell everybody.
Man, the myth, the legend.
all right.
With that information, Roshan would like to send a sending that night to Valder and ask him, just update him, and then ask him if there's someone in the east that we should share this with.
You send this to him. Thank you for the information. I can send word eastward, or if you see a town guard perchance, or I think I have 5 left, a Jarlsman near the bridge.
How far is the inn from the canyon proper?
About a
Just few.
like 5-10 minute walk.
Okay. Fenn's gonna take the symbol that it's down, right? They took it off the
Yeah, you guys
took it off the
stole
wall.
it. Yes.
Okay. Fenn's gonna take it. He's gonna walk to the end of the canyon and he's gonna throw it down into the void.
Disappears very quickly from your view. You have great dark vision, but just the fog just consumes it instantly, and it is out of sight, maybe not out of mind, but certainly out of sight.
Yeah, Fenn will sleep better or meditate better if that thing is gone. So
Yeah. The night passes, maybe a little bit restless. Bosch was here, is the assumption, but he's no longer here. And it seems that this place did not take the brunt of his ire, You wake up the next morning, bright and early. I'm going to just say that I said this because I would have, if brain was good, that Jarek would have told you to wake up like a bit before sunrise so that you could get going the second the bridge was visible and just start slowly trucking. You are presented with your new cart, which these people who work here quickly secure your items to it. They tell you if you're going to have things loose, they may blow away. So to keep things in your bags and just keep them like low and in the cart, they have like a piece of fabric that they can tie down and you can just like shove your bags under them if you want to. They also show you how the safety mechanism works. So you have your cart, and on each side there are 3 ropes, and they all kind of connect to each other. Yeah, so there's 3 ropes, go across 6 points. At the end of each rope is a hook, and they point out on the bridge. They're like, these are basically everywhere. As long as you're more central on the bridge, you can reach both, no problem. And just hook it on and then stay low. And once the wind kind of slows down, you should be good to keep going. And at night, keep it attached the whole time. And I advise everybody try to sleep in the cart if possible. If not, tie yourself to the cart. So for you all to get across, you will pay for, so what you're going to do is you're going to pay me for this cart on the other side.
can I
which
check
then you will
once
be-
more for the buying of the thing that I talked to you about?
Sure, go ahead and roll luck.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Just
No, I'm going to keep going, but you go ahead and roll and I'll get to you in a second. He talks about the
Nope.
money owed. So a gold is owed and then 2 silver a person. However that money gets to me, it get to me. This man takes it. Basically, you will be given a gold back once you make it to the other side with like their cart, you know. And they're like, and then you can get your own cart there. There's somebody who sells carts and horses. Will not be as cheap, but you know, money to burn. Is there any more just of the details? Okay, and I'm sure somebody already told you, there's a fine if you're caught traveling at night. We advise going slow. If the horses seem startled, we advise trying to tie down as quickly as possible, put their blinders on, just get them calm. One guy like throws up some horse food onto the cart, but these guys are good. Shouldn't be a problem. Have to be real fucked up. One of you guys would have to be a big ol' asshole for you to piss these horses off. And there's just two very chill horses, just like
That's cool.
they have a job to do.
Nana will, you know, feed one of them an apple or something that's handy. Maybe
Yeah.
the other one gets like a carrot. You know, you want to vary up the diets.
Yeah, these now spoiled horses, all of their training gone.
Oh,
No. Fen, what'd you get on your
Oh, I got a 2, so I can barely find my way back to the bridge.
You're like, I don't remember, guys.
Womp
What are we
womp.
doing? No, it's just that there's you seem to be the only cart hitting the road this early at the moment. So you guys are going to probably have a bit of a distance on whoever comes next, which is always for the best. Who wants to be traveling with a shit ton of people? The guy looks to you. Any other questions?
I think we're all right.
All right. Slow, easy pace. The horses should do the work.
So go fast.
Oh,
The opposite of that.
Oh, okay.
Go beyond, please.
Just was like about to go like this. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a very long way down.
It's
We
a
should go quite
long
slow.
way. You all get up onto the horses. When you get your first step onto the bridge, there is just the new sound of the wheels on this material, just this hard material, just like clunk, 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 like horse on cobblestone, but just it's a bunch of new
Wood.
experiences sensationally for everyone. You look over, and when you hit the bridge, the men show you that, like, okay, this is how the hooks work, and it takes them no time at all, because like each of them grabs one and hooks it on fast. There you go. Easy peasy. And like one of the guy like shakes the cart. You'll be fine. They put them all back in. All right. Have a good trip.
Thank you.
All right. And you all start the pretty slow trek. These horses have set a pace on themselves, and they slowly move across. There's plenty of room on either side of you. These horses would have to go way off track for you to start having a problem. But you can just see the edges and the fog beneath. And as you move forward, eventually you cannot see the ground behind you. And it is just you and the bridge. And you continue forward slowly, agonizingly slow. And it doesn't help that you know you're going to be here for like 2 days on this nightmare bridge. You start going, and the wind, she do pick up. It hasn't gotten to the point where you feel the cart shifting at all, but like anybody with free hair, it is to the side. Your hair is just fully always actively in motion until you like tie it down and put on a hat. If you put on a hat, the hat's gone. Take that back.
I picture Nana's been keeping her sides and back pretty short all this time since her drastic haircut with Ellie, but I feel like maybe she's been growing the top.
The top
a little
occasionally
bit.
like comes
It's
around
got,
and like
like-
smacks you in the eye
got a
because it's
little
like at eye height.
Like,
It's-
God,
it's-
it's the worst part of it. The whole grow out process.
the wind just bites at you, like you're starting to get like sore in the cheeks, so you have to like pull up your scarves a bit. Kind of dries the eyes. It is just a very unpleasant experience, but you know, once again, you guys have been through worse. It's not as cold as the valley, it's not as terrible as the valley. The screaming of the wind that was the valley, so comparatively.
So since Jenny's going to be in my pocket at this point. Like, she's not out and about.
Yeah.
And probably too windy for Fen to comfortably feel comfortable trying to do his fine whittling work. He's going to spend this time, if Saga and Tordrick, Saga and or Tordrick and or Roshan want to learn, reviewing really quick how to tie a clove hitch knot or a bowline knot. Very easy, quick to learn knots that are tight when you tie them, and as long as there's pressure on them, they're tight. And
Oh, I'm really busy. I don't know if
I'm learning. That's weird. It's just
if they want to learn, I'm willing to teach. But
just give me a quick thumbs up who is going to actively pay attention to this lesson. If there's like active listening. Okay, Roshan's like, I'm not an idiot.
I mean, like, yeah, Nana will absolutely review her knots because, you know, it's been a few years. And
yeah,
it's
I
just
imagine that Nana and
reasonable to-
Gorbjorn probably know a little bit about knots, at least enough to. Gorbjorn can probably tie the BFK, the big fucking knot, and Nana probably knows the better ones. But
Yeah.
it's
You
always
start
good to
this
practice your
lesson
basics.
instead of having like wood chips flying into people's faces from whittling. You're like, I think I'll just, well, hey, let's review ropes on this terrible bridge. And everyone's like, yeah, that sounds like a doable thing. And
that
Saga's like,
sounds like a good
yeah,
idea.
we're looking at definitely listening.
Yeah, no, she
Uh,
just goes under her blanket, makes a little dome, and is just playing with the crab, trying to think of names.
you just hear the shuffling sound of this crab. You guys push forward for a bit. You can tell that it's starting, the sun is starting to rise. And sometimes it makes the fog better and sometimes it makes it worse. Just sometimes when the sun catches, it's like, oh, now I can't really see in that direction at all off to the side. You can always see a good bit of the bridge, but you keep going forward and some of the fog dissipates a little as the day passes. I would love anybody who thinks that they would be like actively looking around, and I'm looking for like 2 people tops for a perception check. So who thinks they would be actively looking about on this journey? Okay, so Nana and Gorbjorn. Perception checks, if you'd be so kind.
Yes.
I got a 10.
Ooh,
Oh, God.
And a cat.
it's a curse.
So annoying.
That is a 16 perception check. 16.
Gorbjorn, you're kind of like looking around and you clock the occasional spot to like tie down the cart, and you see they're pretty frequent. This is definitely something added by the people who have used the bridge for years and years and years.
infrastructure.
And you're looking at it and you're like, okay, and you like look at some of the designs that have mostly worn down, but you can just see bits of them. And you take a gander at that. Nana, you're looking around. You had done your turn leading the horses for a little bit, and you're just like, I need to rest my eyes just for a moment, because you have to trying to be very aware. Starts to burn your eyes a bit. So you go back and you blink and you sit on the back of the cart and you kind of like look back, like, you know, like one last look over to the west, you know. This is your first time in the East, and I'm going to say for most people in this party, this is your first time in the East. This is uncharted territory for 90% of the party. As you go forward, you can just, there's the slight rumbling of the cart, and you look around at the fog and you can see bits of the sky now as it started to dissipate. And you're just like, and you look back and you're like, I wonder if I can see it in the distance, or if it's like the ocean where it just disappears fully into the horizon. And your eyes go from about like eye level, they lower a bit as you look down the bridge, and something catches your eye in the fog. You kind of lean in a bit, take a gander. There's a lot of something in the fog now that it has started to dissipate, but it is low down. Definitely not within like touching distance by any stretch of the imagination. but it is just looks like hundreds upon hundreds of black tendrils reaching the span of the bridge. You can see it in that direction, going far past your eye line, extensions of just black ichor-like material twisted with dirt and rock. And there's just a slight movement to it. It doesn't go anywhere. It just continues to, you can feel it moving east. And you can look that way and see that it is already way ahead of you. You don't know how far it goes, but you see it in both directions. North, so if you're on the bridge, like facing east, it's like the left side of the bridge is where you see this. And you see a lot of it.
Holy Golvec, protect us. That is... Everyone? Stay
Yes,
calm.
Yeah.
Perfectly calm, Nana. What's wrong?
There are corruption vines stretching from where we came from all the way across the chasm, heading east ahead of us. It's under the fog. We wouldn't have seen it until we were out here.
Even like it takes you all a minute to see it because it's just shadow and fog and just distance, but if you look long enough, you're all able to see it.
I know the shake of that ichor.
Do you propose we do now?
We haven't fire enough to burn all of this. We'll need to... I don't know. Roshan, would Dagwood have any knowledge of something that could take on corruption the size of this ravine?
I can ask her, but she hasn't shared anything of the sort.
If you can get any knowledge at all. I don't know that there's anything that we have within our capacity to do here, unless perhaps by some miracle there's a freak lightning strike that wipes it all out, but hasn't really been in our cards so far.
Fenn's gonna knock an arrow and kind of work his way to the back of the cart. Just stay low and
Have a care.
just be. He's not gonna jump out of the cart. He's just gonna. He wants to get the best angle he can. If one of these things snaps up behind us, to loose an arrow at it, but he's not gonna provoke anything.
Yeah, you stay at the back of the cart watching. Like you can tell that there's movement in them, but as you watch, like nothing seems to actively be heading your way. So you keep your eyes sort of downcast there as you continue forward. Yes, Nana?
And Nana wants to turn to Roshan and Tordrict. If either of you have the capacity to spare it, I would appreciate if one of you could let the bard Viola know at the inn that we were just at, not to let anyone get too close to the edge of the ravine. Can Nana, the way that Nana was able to see the fact that these vines reach all the way back over to the west side of the ravine, could she see the vines reaching up the cliff face there?
No, you can't see the cliff face. This is all
all.
assumption.
Okay, all right. If nothing else, if we could just warn her that there is something enormous and very, very dangerous in this ravine, and get someone, anyone, around to help who might be of better capacity to do so.
Oh, would you like me to do it, Roshan, or would you like to do it?
Just don't let anyone cross.
I mean,
That's not going to happen.
That's
This
certainly
is
not going to
their
happen.
their only form of economy. Can't shut down an economy for these people. They'll starve.
You were right, though,
Especially the
Saga.
people
There's
in the-
plans.
Oh.
Yeah, there is plants. They lied.
Saga, shh, 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 shh.
they
Oh.
lied.
What? They're not gonna
sort of
hear us.
Plant, I
Do we know
guess.
that?
Well, we've been. I don't know.
Saga, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. We're in a very bad situation right now.
Roshan, would you like me to send the message, or are you sending the message?
You're welcome to send the message.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Mage Armor on myself.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, roll to see if you surge.
Oh God.
I don't.
Blows up.
Okay, I'll be quiet. Boom.
Yeah, finding, not a word. Boom.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah. All right, message sent. She was very confused, but I did my best.
Please don't tell me you told her that I loved her too.
I mean, I can. Let me send another one.
No, stop it! No, do not do that. I'm engaged.
Nana, please don't shout.
Sorry.
I don't think we have anything to worry about from these vines being loud. They
Is
were
this-
obviously here before we were.
Is that something you want to risk?
Don't particularly relish advertising our exact location in the middle of this
Well-
situation. We have limited means to escape.
What I'm saying is, I don't think they're after us. They've been here, obviously, for a lot longer than we have, and they don't seem to be stealing people now.
They're after the world. I mean, they said the crossings hadn't been that bad recently, so.
I hope you're both right.
I don't want to be
none.
quiet for a day and a half.
I am nonetheless concerned. Saga, this is not the worst we've been through.
But has
Don't
she
need
been
to
quiet for a
make
day and a
it
half? I don't think that's happened.
I've never had
I
to
don't
do
think she's been
that.
quiet for a day and a half.
Quiet? Mm.
She's like, I've only been
Maybe
half
when
the-
we were down when we descended from the Loxodon and
that
we
was-
wanted to make sure we weren't causing avalanches, I think maybe
that
Saga
wasn't
was-
half a day.
Hmm.
Well, that wasn't a day and a half.
Uh,
But
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, you continue watching the vines. Hopefully, they continue on at least the concept of not approaching you, which is what you are seeing currently. Is no movement besides due east from these things, and you can see the occasional like small tendril that like makes its way off of the larger one and then kind of moves back in and just continues to reach.
Jeez. Nana's going to be taking notes of all of this to send back to Valder.
Yeah. The cart continues on. The horses do not really care what is happening around them. They've been trained to walk at a pace and they continue to walk at that pace. Tordrick takes some time to pray after looking at this terrible amalgamation of tendrils. So he takes a moment and prays.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
the day continues to pass at like a now an anxious slow pace, besides the fact that you are suspended over the nothingness. You
The
now know
nothingness is in fact full.
you can see these tendrils sort of suspended, almost like a secondary bridge, I suppose, from one side probably to the other. You'll know when you get there. You continue forward. Fen, unwavering, you keep your view low, and the sun rises in the sky, and the wind picks up as it does, nothing too unnerving as of yet. And the sun starts to make its way around and begins to set a bit. You still have time. There's still time to keep moving safely. This doesn't count as nighttime yet. But you all continue forward. And Saga, you're sitting there and you're trying to be quiet, and there's just the occasional sound of a shaking crab as your outlet just shaking this crab aggressively. And you can see the shadows being cast by the sun as it moves along, and you just see like the strange elongated shadows of your friends starting to kind of cast across the bridge itself. And you're like, oh, it's real funny how, and you're like looking at them and you're like, well, there's me. And you can like raise a hand and see that it's you, and your arm just extends pretty far and long.
Oh, I do a crab.
You make little crab hands, and you like look up, like you like watch to see where your crab hands go, and your eyes scan across your friends, and you look at Roshan, and of course he has a long extended shadow like everybody else, but it is incredibly strange to look at. It looks like an upside down man. Like there's Roshan's shadow, and then like a secondary shadow as if it was coming like from the other way. They're connected at the head, the feet upwards, and you're looking at it and you're like, that's really weird. It's not how shadows work. It gets bigger.
Like as I look at it, it's getting
Yeah,
bigger?
you're watching this man shadow on top of Roshan's shadow begin to grow rapidly.
Oh, I just like quickly like crawl over to Roshan. Roshan, do you remember the other part of this prophecy that talked about two shadows? You have two shadows and it's growing.
You jump like towards Roshan and turn to look at him. And that's when you see it barreling towards you through the sky. You see that there is indeed a man there, hanging from some sort of like basket with like a bulbous top and he's dangling from it by his leg with a rope and bulldozing towards you rapid fire as the wind whips this thing aggressively towards you. You have a couple moments.
Yeah, I'm like, what do I do? What do I have? I have.
You can have or do something if you'd like to. Roshan, this has now been made apparent to you as well.
Okay. I'm just gonna. Is the bridge Earth?
No.
Okay,
It's wood.
it's not Earth. Okay. Well, I can't really do too much then. I'm just gonna. I feel like casting Cure Wounds on him while he flies by is not gonna do too much.
Saga, he is heading straight for you physically. Like he is about to collide with you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I'm gonna move out of the way. That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. Roshan, what would you like to do?
How far up is, like, he's hanging from what sounds like a hot air balloon?
But you guys don't know what that is, so I vaguely described a hot air balloon.
Okay. I think Roshan would like throw out some wings and then try to cut him loose.
I just want to just clarify just super fast. I mean, he's barreling towards you. You're welcome to take to the air, but you don't know if you're going to be able to grab him and cut him free at this moment. You can start to get that like in motion.
okay,
But-
I have a weird thing then.
Okay.
Can
you,
I-
you each get one thing, and it needs to be, this is the last thing.
Okay. Can I shoot with a chaos bolt the ropes that are carrying him so they break and he falls into our cart so perfectly?
If you would like to hope that that happens perfectly,
If I would like to hope, I would
if
like
you
to
would
hope.
like to hope that will work perfectly.
Oh no.
Okay. And then Roshan will wings and catch him actually, because it probably. Oh,
You don't know what Roshan's doing.
Okay, but that's the first plan I have.
Roshan, wings out. Saga, you go to cast Chaos Bolt. The magic's starting to swirl in your fingers. Less than 6 seconds later, this man rams into you. Instantly, as you set this off, boom, this man is into you. We're gonna take some damage, boys.
Oh, okay.
Um,
It's not that okay.
No, it was it's happening so fast.
It didn't work. It didn't work.
Go ahead and roll. No. I'm normally a kind, benevolent god, but it just was not enough time.
No.
You're like, I'll save. Like,
Oh, here, let me out.
nope.
Let me help you out.
Roshan and Saga, go ahead and give me dexterity saving throws.
Okay.
As two people who have stood up to deal with this problem.
Oh no.
14.
Okay.
A second. Give me a
Uh-huh.
just
Mhm.
other people, doesn't it? Okay, then I'm gonna use a Tides of Chaos, get advantage on this.
Sure.
Hopefully. Yeah. Oh, that's oh, okay. Well,
Come on.
The first one was a 3 and the second one was a 1. And so it's a 4. No, it's a 5. Sorry. 5.
Oh, Saga. Don't die.
Okay.
Saga, you are going to take
Don't die.
16 points of damage as a fully grown man slams into you. You are
Christ.
taken off the cart, land on the bridge, and skid a little bit, but still plenty of room to your side. It's not like you can, oh, there it is, but you are thrown off as basically you clunk heads with this man. Roshan, you see like an arm heading towards you as his arms are free, and you like go to take your wings out and you like dodge slightly and you just get like a slap in the face. So you're gonna take
Rude.
8 points of damage.
Oh, no, it's too late now. Is it too late for me to give him a D4
Yes.
on that?
It is too late.
Okay.
This man
Damn.
shouts out after he collides with you, and everyone's like, "What the actual fuck?"
What
And
in
all
the
of you get to
actual
see
fuck?
it now, as this man caught in the wind, a huge gust, just taking this hot air balloon around like a rag doll, and this man being whipped about under it. You could see just for a moment the blood starting to like kind of spill off of his face a bit.
Oh no.
He goes, in a language you don't understand, and points behind you. And before you can even fully turn, you see the shadow and spread of humongous wings.
Oh,
And that's where we're going to stop for today.
Does my chaos bolt ever go off?
We'll talk about your chaos bolt.
Okay.
That'll be an event for us, I think. Thank you all
my
so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. We love telling you guys a story. We love being precarious on bridges, you know. But thank you again. We have multiple shows here at the Dice Cult. Sadly, one more week without Frank by our sides, but we should see him next week. Hopefully, fingers crossed, so Tordrick can join us for this nightmare. It'll be fine and
He
good.
needs to join us in this nightmare, damn it. It needs to be fair.
But my dear friend Abby, if you could tell me about perchance maybe what's happening on Wednesday, and if not, I can talk about Wednesday.
Well, I'll just do a small
Happy
thing,
long
and I think
stockings.
that you were provided with a thing, I was told.
Yeah, I have a thing if you'd like me to read the thing. I just didn't know if you had it.
Well, I mean, we're back at it again. You had a week to watch the thing, the VOD on YouTube, and if you didn't watch it, well, too late. We're doing it again. Guess what we're doing again?
Is it
That's your
cordially
cue.
invited?
Oh, and I'm in, boys.
Yeah.
If you're interested in catching up with our fun Wednesday crew on youtube.com/thedicecult, it is episode 2 of Cordially Invited, which goes up every other Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It seems there is a celebratory feast awaiting our heroes, and
also some magic.
you know, when you get to play Dungeons and Dragons, I sure hope there's magic. It seems to have a fun little fairy tale vibe, which is very nice for you. For your nice feast you're going to have. You dealt with an uninvited guest last time. And it seems that we can be expecting some performances, maybe some intrigue, and maybe some more birds. I don't know. So if you'd like
More
to come
birds?
watch the game on Wednesday, it is youtube.com/thedicecult for episode 2 of Cordially Invited, which gives you 2-ish days to catch up on the first episode. Highly recommend. If you're interested in something a little different, on Saturdays we have Vampire the Masquerade in the Last Remaining Light. That goes up every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Currently, we have been on a roll without injuring, maiming, or killing anybody. We're living the dream. No violence.
Tyr doesn't think so.
No, we're doing a pacifist run. That'll last, I'm sure, definitely through this next session.
Yes, definitely, surely.
But our fledgling vampires have been given a call from help from a slimy, somewhat enemy ally, and we have to decide if it's actually worth it. Is it worth saving this person? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. But if you want to catch up with us in some vampire drama, you can join us on Saturday. If you want to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. You can find some beautiful art there. Abby has provided us a lot of beautiful art of a lot of characters. We have NPC art. We have maps, we have the whole shebang. So if you just want to come check it out, we'd appreciate it. On Twitter, we keep you up posted about what's going on. We also post art there. So wherever you want to come and interact with us, and speaking of interacting with us, you can come bother us on Discord. So if you go to the About section,
thirsty for attention,
if
honestly.
you just want to talk to us like just casual people, or be like, Jillian, but what is this bridge, and explain it to me, and I will be like, no.
Just come say, hey, what's up?
Honestly, just come
if you
say,
want to
"Hey,
talk
what's up?"
about your D&D game, you're like, man, who will I share this meme with? We're here. So go to the About page. There's a
We have
link
a whole
to get to
channel
our
for
Discord,
memes.
and you can come hang out if that's what you want to do. We're okay. We're okay decent people most of the time. Thank you all so much. Once again, we appreciate having you here. Love telling you guys a story. We are here same time, same place, every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you next week. Good night.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.